Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Thursday, November 10th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 79. Coming up on OTB, LSU soccer coach Sean Hudson joins the show at 8:30, and we have a new edition of Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It is Thursday, November 10th, 2022. Hope you are having a wonderful day today. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny hanging out with you here on OTB. If you're watching on YouTube, 1045, will be youtube.com/1045ESPN. Welcome. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. All of that. Subscribe to the Off the Bench channel as well as the OTB OT channels, where you'll get all of our content. Going to be a great show today. We got some good basketball to break down yesterday as both the Pels and the LSU Tigers win. First win of the Matt McMahon era. The Pels finally done with this never-ending road trip, playing 8 of their last 11 on the road. They now return for a 6-game homestand that kicks off tonight. That is fantastic. There is, obviously, there's a big, there's a massive football game coming up this week in LSU, Arkansas, and that's where we're going to start. We'll probably touch on the Saints a bit later in the show, and we have big deal or no big deal coming up to kick off hour 2. So, like I said, let's have ourselves a very fun 3 hours, folks. Lock in. If you're going to work, school, whatever, we're going to push through today, and then the weekend begins today. Jake, what's up, dude? How we feeling today? Feeling good?
Feeling great, as you said. Felt like it was actually fall this morning.
Yep.
Heading into work.
50 degrees there.
That helps.
Yeah, it felt great. We'll see. We'll see if it holds. But I'm going to continue to believe there's a cold front coming this weekend, even though I haven't checked once.
Yeah, you said that a bunch, and you haven't checked yet.
No, I'm weather agnostic. I never check weather. Just kind of take it as it comes.
You just talk about it a lot.
I don't even have a umbrella in my car ever.
No, I mean, I don't either. I just got a hood and just throw it on.
Well, you do actually always have a hood on. I don't always have a hood on. All right, I want to dive, though. I want to start with LSU football. It's the most interesting thing going on right now. It's the big boy, and we'll touch on the other sports throughout the show today. But I want to continue to explore this idea of whether or not this Saturday in Fayetteville is a trap game for LSU, which it is. I mean, look, I guess it's a trap game in terms of how we traditionally define these things, where there's a lot on the line for LSU. You got an Arkansas team that just lost to Liberty, so like the ability to overlook them is very easy. As we said, it's 11-8 kickoff. It's going to be colder than used to, yada, 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 all of these sorts of things. But, Jake, I got to be honest, I am feeling very confident about this game. And I understand that if you were to take the 30,000-foot view and we did not cover this team at all, and let's say we were from Wyoming, and we just looked at this game, you would almost, you might even blind bet Arkansas. But that's a weird line, considering that LSU's top 10 in the country, going to win the West. Arkansas is average. They have an awful defense. Like, why is that only 3? What's going on there? Vegas must know something. So it stinks. I get it. It's a stinky line. However, I believe that the difference here is, and what Vegas is maybe not accounting for, because I don't know how you could account for this, the difference is kind of the Brian Kelly factor and how LSU has been winning. Because as we told you, there's nothing fluky or unsustainable about LSU's success over the past month. Like, this is not a hot streak. It is not luck. It is a good scheme mixed with discipline, execution, due to extended time on task, right? You've seen sustainable growth every single game. And at the end of the day, Jake, I think the main point is it's process-based. Like, the whole point of having a process And think about it, we can all have one, right? But they can be good or bad. But we have more than enough evidence, not just this year, but of Brian Kelly's career, to tell you that his process pays positive dividends. But like the whole point of having a process, Jake, that you're married to try to develop is to help to weather the ebbs and flows of the season, right? Like you get blown out by Tennessee, then you got to go to the swamp immediately. That's a bad spot. How do you handle it? You do the same things that you did every other week. And if you focus on that, the results will follow. Like, why do you lose trap games? Who loses trap games? Teams that are poorly coached, teams that are not consistent, and teams that do not deal with adversity well. What did I just say that applies to this LSU team? I see none of those elements in this team. So, no, I think you should approach this game confidently, and I think I do not see the Tigers falling into the trap.
Yeah, we talked about their leadership yesterday. We talked about all the veteran players that they have on this team. We talked about two of their most veteran players being former Arkansas Razorbacks. And I do think that goes a long way. I mean, you have Joe Fouché, you have Greg Brooks, who can kind of, throughout the week, let them know, like, what kind of players are on the other side, what kind of, running back Arkansas has, what kind of offensive line, kind of some of the stuff. Like, hey, these dudes are good. I went against these guys every day in practice, all of that. So, for me, like, you have the leadership in place to be able to handle a situation like this because, yeah, it is the classic trap game or whatever, sleepy Saturday, whatever you want to call it, because you're going on the road. It's an early kick. It's going to be cold. It's going to be a team that just lost to a group of 5 team, a team that's not even in a conference, an independent team. Although Liberty's good, right? That's going to be kind of some of the mindset if you allow it to creep in. Like, also, you don't know if KJ Jefferson is going to play in this game. Right, because Sam Pittman yesterday said KJ threw some on Monday, not much at all yesterday. That's still kind of a fluid situation. I will say this, Malik Hornsby had a really good week of practice. The team is confident in him.
I mean, if Hornsby plays, it's a wrap. Because, quite literally, Jake, the segment I wanted to do next is all about KJ Jefferson and how concerned you should be about him. Like, we agree if Hornsby plays, there's 0% chance that Arkansas will win this game.
Yeah, KJ Jefferson's a really good player. He was an all-SEC type of player coming into the season. At SEC Media Day, a lot of people that said Arkansas was the third best team used him as a prime example of why. They thought he could really be special. And he flashed early in the season, and obviously he's dealt with injuries most of the season, certainly in the middle and the back half. So
his numbers are still pretty incredible.
Yeah, I know.
I was very surprised.
But he has battled through injury ever since. Was it A&M game?
Yeah, I think so. I just thought that he had maybe been a bit more middle of the pack this year. But then you look, he's actually the second highest rated quarterback in the SEC. He's thrown 17 touchdowns, just 3 picks. He throws for 250 a game. He adds on 50 rushing each game. He's completing 66% of his passes, 9 yards per attempt. So, KJ Jefferson has been spectacular this year. And when you look at LSU, it's been a bit of a mixed bag, right? You dominate maybe the two best, not maybe. No, because Hooker. You dominate 2 of the best 3 quarterbacks you face this year, Will Rogers and Bryce Young. But then Robbie Ashford has some modicum of success against you, maybe more than you would have expected, though after the early shots, you shut him down. And Anthony Richardson probably has a bit more success than you would have wanted. You allow him to get that big 80-yard touchdown run and everything to make the fourth quarter interesting again. And then Hendon Hooker just kind of whooped your ass. So how do you feel like this LSU defense matches up with a KJ Jefferson?
Look, with the game plan they had last week against Bryce Young is not by any means the best running quarterback in the country. But I do believe Bryce Young is the best quarterback in the pocket in the country at finding a way to get the football off, finding a way to get in a comfortable situation when it starts out uncomfortable for him. And LSU's game plan against him last week was as good as I've ever seen against Bryce Young, right? We broke down a couple of videos. Harold Perkins in the spy, B.J. Ojulari. The one where it's like you have the 3 guys on the left side of the defensive line crashing all to the right. B.J. Ojulari is the edge player on the right. He comes all the way back to contain Bryce Young. He gets a hit on Bryce Young, forces a hurry, gets a pressure, and it's an incomplete pass. Like, basically, Bryce Young looks like he just spikes it into the ground.
Yeah.
That is a game plan. And Flynn broke it down yesterday. We were talking, he's like, this isn't a situation where you're trying to get a sack. Now, if a sack comes from it, that's great. This pressure is designed to try to force Bryce Young off his spot. And that's exactly what it did, because you see three guys slanting the other way. So you roll to your right. You have no idea that B.J. Ojulari from this edge is coming all the way back around.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that I was talking about yesterday, where Perk ends up looping around in the middle and then spills him right into Ojulari along with everybody else.
Perk goes inside the tackle.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
He goes inside, gets some of that interior pressure,
and so
spills Young
right.
that way, and then Ojulari's just sitting there waiting on him.
You call that,
yeah,
right, to confuse the quarterback. And that's just Bryce Young. Just that doesn't happen to him. And so for me, it's about the game plan and it's about the execution of the plan. Right? It doesn't matter what style of quarterback you're facing. Like, you're not going to face someone who's better in the pocket than the guy you just faced and the guy you had 27 hurries on.
So if we're always worried about the players maybe not locking in and being ready for this Arkansas team, do you think there's any chance that, like, the coaches, after all the buildup over Alabama, they've been working on it forever. They have the 2 weeks.
Look,
do they go half stepping into this game plan?
I know. I know defensively, I can answer this quickly. Matt House is an NFL guy.
Yeah, he's
in the NFL.
Week battles.
It is week to week.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you played the Chiefs and then you played the Jags. You knew, or he's on the Chiefs. Okay, give me the Saints.
Fair.
If you played the Saints and then you played the Jags, whoever it was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you go like Bills, Jags.
You had to go like just quickly.
Yeah.
And you knew, okay, the Jags might be 1 and whatever. Man, they got Trevor Lawrence. They got James Robinson at the time. They got, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you have Sunday players, and so you weren't allowed to sit there off of a successful week the week before. In the NFL, you got to get ready every single week. And so that's what Matt House has lived in for the last couple of years.
Also, remember, I said that I understand that the line is stinky, but Brian Kelly is the outlier in all of this. And that's because, he told you November is for contenders. And what is Brian Kelly's record in November, Jake? He hasn't lost since, 2017?
2017 is the last time.
That was Coach O's first year at LSU.
Yeah.
To give you an idea of how long it's been.
I still lived in
Shreveport.
Shreveport.
November. You still lived in Shreveport when he
last
lost in November?
Last time he lost.
Wow. I didn't have kids. Wow. What? I didn't have a single kid.
I still had 4.
Last time Brian Kelly, that's even weirder. Man, I didn't have a single kid last time Brian Kelly lost in November. So, no, I'm not concerned. I think LSU takes care of business. I think that Arkansas they do some things well. Look, their sack numbers are good. But when I see...
They got, sorry to cut you off, but you mentioned the sack numbers. Those numbers did come early in the season. They popped off early, and they were leading the country in sacks the first 3 weeks. And since then, if you took the first, I know you can't do it, and I actually hate doing it. If you take the first 3 weeks out, they haven't done as much.
No, and what I was going to say too is, Jake, I'm not concerned if I see high sack numbers, but I also see the worst pass defense in the SEC. Like, that tells me, yeah, maybe you're selling out to create some negative plays, but you are giving up a ton of big plays. And if there's one thing that this LSU team is just getting better and better at, it's executing and creating those big plays. I feel like this is going to be a really big game for the receivers. Certainly guys like Dwight McLaughlin are going to be very motivated against some of their former teammates. But
that pass defense had been motivated to stop anybody this year.
Well, maybe they were motivated. Whether or not they could do it, no, they have been awful. So and then like Jake said, with Matt House and this LSU defense and everything, showing you how good you have them. So I feel great about LSU Arkansas. What do you think? Go ahead and put your comments in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. We can get some of them next. Boys, y'all want to have a little Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston discussion real quick here, baby? Let's do it. We'll get back here on Off the Bench. Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN
Jason,
Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. They're right there off of Airline Highway. I love them. See what they can offer you. Toyotathon is going on right now. They always got great deals you can see on the website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. You also chat with someone live on the website if you want to start to explore what the options are. You can actually buy your car straight from the website if you really want to. But I love the people at All-Star Toyota, right? So I like to go in and see them off of Airline Highway, and that's how I found every vehicle that I've gotten from them. I'm about to get another one, and I cannot wait because I know, like, I don't know what I'm going to end up in, but I know I'm going to be satisfied from it matching my needs, to the price, to everything. They are the best. The warranty coverage, all of it. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, they'll be the best for you as well. It doesn't matter what you're doing, buying, leasing, or renting. If you're going up to Fayetteville, it's not too late. If you're leaving later today, if you're leaving early tomorrow morning, you can rent that Toyota, save the miles on your vehicle. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Professional golfers John Peterson and JJ Colleen answer all your golf and life questions inside the new Drop Biscuit Studios podcast for the people. Download or subscribe today at dropbiscuit.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit.
We get it done with passion for our fans
And love for our community. We are
the Tigers.
Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
During the season of Thanksgiving, Corvell Toyota wants to take the time to thank you for your business. We could not be in business for over 50 years without you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you from Corvell Toyota in Opelousas.
Thank you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment.
Jimmy Ott and Charles Henniger for the Thursday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're downtown at Jolly Pearl Oyster Bar on North facing Town Square. Game Time, 6 to 8 p.m., presented by Bet Rivers on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Waiting for the break of day. Searching for
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Jake, maybe you can pull up the Arkansas PFF defensive grades. I want to talk about Rocket Sanders in a bit, but defensively, does anybody scare you on this Arkansas team?
All right, it's funny you asked. I was just actually doing that during the break. All right, so Landon Jackson's somebody that LSU fans know.
Yeah.
He started his career here, didn't play on defense. I believe he only played on punt team, but he's grading out at a 55.6. So he's had some moments, but he struggled a little bit. Zach Williams, probably the best player along their defensive front. When you look at linebacker, we all know the name Bumper Pool because, one, it's
a great name.
Great name, unique name, and he's been at Arkansas since Darren McFadden was there.
And I mean, he's a white guy with a neck roll, right? Does he have a neck roll?
Does Bumper have look, I'm
he
sure.
Feels like he has a neck
I'm
roll.
sure at some point in his 7-year career, Bumper Pool has had a neck roll.
If Bumper Pool doesn't have a neck roll, that'll be the biggest upset of the weekend.
You have Henry, who was linebacker there. You had Drew. Was it Drew Morgan that was linebacker there for a long time as well? And they all kind of were the same guy. Really good players, by the way. Drew Sanders is the guy to look out for. He's the transfer from Alabama. He's the guy that's got 6.5 sacks. He was the guy that was popping off early in the season. So he's somebody that is a very, very good player. But you asked about the secondary. It's wild. No neck roll?
No neck roll.
You disappointed?
I'm a little upset. That's okay, though. Sorry, continue.
When you look at the secondary, it's hard because the grades are actually they're pretty good. They haven't been awful, but we know their secondary and how many yards they give up. Like their free safety grades out at a 71%. Now their strong safety, Blair, grades out at 52%. Then you look at Dwight McLaughlin, somebody we know very well, 72%. The other corner, Hudson Clark, 77%. But your nickel, 45.4.
It still doesn't seem to pass the sniff test. It seems like there's a bit of an odd.
Well, you got two guys that have failing grades. And so in the secondaries, T, of the 5 guys, if you've got 2 that are struggling that bad, a good offense and a good offensive coordinator will find those guys.
That's fair. I guess it's not unlike the disconnect of the LSU offensive line actually being kind of fantastic, but not like grading out in any way that would jump off the page or kind of blow you away.
Offensive line, I would say, is probably the toughest graded position. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to rack my brain. I mean, quarterback's probably pretty tough, but I definitely think the offensive line, to your point. But that's what their secondary grades out at. And to your point about KJ Jefferson, I mean, he's still at an 89%. That's high.
Yeah, no,
that's incredibly high.
KJ's been fantastic. He's been fantastic.
The drop-off from him to Hornsby is 89.4 to 64.3.
I mean, it sounds crazy. As Arkansas struggles, I mean, do they just really miss Traylon Burks that much?
That's everybody that you talk to that covers Arkansas football, that's the first thing they go to.
Yeah. I mean, the first couple of games looked like maybe Trey Knox was going to be that guy when he's out there like 6'7", running around, just flying down the field against Cincinnati. But he just hasn't developed as dominantly. I mean, you look at the receiving core, it actually, Jake, doesn't feel too dissimilar from Alabama in that nobody really jumps off of the page. You know, you got Hazelwood and Landers over 500 yards in the season. Then you got Knox, Jackson, Sanders, Rocket. That is all at about 220 around there. Warren Thompson, 178. So kind of a smattering here or there, but no dominant playmaker in the receiving game. Now, Rocket Sanders could be defined as a dominant offensive player. I mean, it is kind of crazy. They have the second highest rated quarterback in the SEC and the leading rusher in the SEC, averaging 120 a game. It feels like so where's the hang up? Is it just the defense? Like, it feels like this is a team that should be a bit better.
It's receiver and it's defense.
Yeah.
Because when you look at their offensive line, it's pretty stout. I mean, that's how you have the leading rusher in the SEC. And Rocket Sanders is a quality back. And so that's something that you have to contain if you're LSU. It was shocking how poorly Arkansas's offensive line played against Liberty last week. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch the tape. And Liberty was doing some very creative things. They had the old walk-around defense. Nobody was lining up where they ended up. And Arkansas struggled with it.
Okay.
I mean, it looked like you were turning on a high school game, which I'm not even saying that in a bad way. Like, that's what it was. It was high school Harry stuff. You're walking around. Everybody just got it here, and then they know where they're supposed to end up. And so Arkansas never really adjusted to that, and their offensive line struggled mightily in this game against Liberty because they couldn't figure out the scheme. And so, look, it's a unit that when you look at their grades, 74, 74, 79, 81, and 80. That's their offensive line grades.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's very as we just talked about how hard it is to grade positively as an offensive line. Are you at all worried about Rocket Sanders having some rushing success here? against LSU. LSU's rush defense, nothing. I mean, it's how has it been this year? If we really stop and think about it, it's weird, right? Like it was really good against Alabama, but then actually they ended up with pretty good numbers because of some chunk plays. So I don't know. I mean, if I'm trying to craft a path to victory for Arkansas, I believe it would have to be some sort of ball control style where KJ and Sanders win that time of possession battle pretty significantly by moving the ball on the ground. Like Rocket's a guy who they don't even give him 20 carries a game. He's right at 19, but he averages 6.5 yards a carry. He's over 1,000. Like I said, leads the SC 120 per game, 7 scores. Do you feel good about LSU shutting down that rushing attack?
Well, we saw what LSU was able to do against Ole Miss, and Ole Miss was one of the top rushing teams in the country when they came in to Tiger Stadium. LSU's in the middle of the pack in the SEC as far as rush defense. They give up 141 yards per game. That's right behind Arkansas at 140. So we've seen them give up yards, but not a lot of points maybe on the ground. They've given up some chunk plays, like you said.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've had a couple of long hitters, 60-yard runs that they've given up, and they've tightened up in the red area.
So, to your point, right now, Ole Miss and Arkansas, top 2 rushing teams in the SEC. Arkansas averages 230. Ole Miss averages 267 a game. Against LSU, that was 116. And it's not just because they fell behind, because for much of the game they were not behind. Yeah. They just couldn't run the ball. So, okay, that makes you feel good. Like, if you can shut down Jackson Dart and that Ole Miss rushing attack, you should be able, and Judkins and all them, should be able to do the same here.
I mean, we're not on the team. We're not coaches. We're no longer players. No. So we can say this. Just go win the game.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, everything
100%.
that we're talking about, early kick, on the road, it's going to be cold. Who cares if it's going to be cold?
Dude, I agree.
Like, if you're not an offensive player, put on some sleeves, put on a mock turtleneck, and go out there and play the game. And I think they will.
Literally, the only people that the cold weather matters for are the backups. That's the only people it sucks for. Like, if you're playing, it does not matter. You stay warm, you're fine. I've been a young player not playing on an Arkansas sideline, and it is miserable. I mean, it sucks because you're not used to it, and you're just kind of standing there and shivering the whole time. But if you're playing, it is what it is. You're fine. Like, you're fine. And also, if you're an offensive lineman, don't wear sleeves.
If you're a running back, you can't. Like, it's literally not allowed.
Well, yeah, you'll fumble the ball. Yeah. So, no sleeves. Is it toxic masculinity? Yes. I don't care. Don't wear sleeves. You got to be a man. Even if you're a backup, you're not allowed to wear sleeves. If you're no lineman. I don't care if the skill guys want to do it.
2018.
Mario would definitely wear sleeves. I see you smiling back
there. Dude, Mario.
He's judging me for this not wearing sleeves take.
There were some cold games where I had some sleeves.
Yeah. Danny, you're definitely a sleeves guy as well. 1,000%. You're shaking your head, but I know you, and you would absolutely have sleeves on. I mean, am I wrong?
No, both those fellas back there would have sleeves on.
Yeah.
Without question.
Big Fave just texting in to hell with y'all, talking about 4-degree weather and under. I'm wearing sleeves.
Big Fave, like, you're soft.
Also, like, D linemen.
It is what it is.
D linemen, do whatever you want. I don't care. Y'all fancy yourself a bit more of spotlight guys anyway. Okay, here on the offensive line, it's just about toughness and grit. No sleeves allowed. That was a hard and fast rule back in the day.
2018 in Fayetteville, and now Arkansas scored 14 wild points at the end. The game wasn't as close as 24-17, but LSU came out. Their defensive backs came out, and it was cold. It was cold. They came out no shirts for warm-ups.
Yeah, that's
kind of energy I need.
That's the sicko stuff that we're looking for, dude. So no, I agree with you, Jake. Go win the game. No. All this is excuses. And again, like we said earlier, the teams that get tripped up in situations like this are teams that are poorly coached, teams that are inconsistent, and teams that don't have a great process in place. And so they get too high and they get too low. And teams that crumble at adversity. And again, none of that applies to this year's LSU team. The last month has been consistent. They obviously have a great process, and you've already helped them. You've already seen it firsthand, how it can help them deal with ebbs and flows. And we all know how they respond to adversity. And it's very well, again, unflappable. Word of the week, okay? So go win the game this Saturday. Bottom line.
Daniel Basham in the chat. Danny has more of an 800 sweatbands on the arms guy feel.
Oh, dude, yes. You know, Danny would have had all the accoutrements.
He'd have four on his legs.
He'd be not playing, but he'd have the wristband. He'd have like the bicep tie. You know, it's not even a sweatband. It's just the little ring that you put around it. And then he'd have the one above and below the bicep to
make it look bigger.
Yeah, reinforced definition there. Definite visor.
Tights.
If allowed, yes. And then if allowed, though, he'd be spatted up. That was never allowed under Miles.
Can't cover up that Nike check.
That was never allowed under Miles. But if it was, he'd I mean, look, I can't even hate Danny. My creative player in NCAA was that to a T. I literally put every single, I would make him a fullback, and I would put every single piece of flair on him that you possibly could. Everything that I just described, including the spats. Spatting's tight. I wish, I mean, if I could go back, I would have definitely, you know what? I did some stuff like that. Like, I wore an elbow sleeve for no reason. And all this stuff on my right arm, and then I would keep my left arm, my snapping arm, completely clean. But it's not like I needed any of that stuff on my right arm. I just did it for fun.
I mean, yeah, we don't need half the stuff we wear out there.
Gloves. Do you need gloves?
I tape my wrist every game. I don't really know why I did it.
Feel naked without
Y'all ever seen that Texas player who just wears like a ton of armbands like on both of his arms?
I mean, there you go. Dude. There you go. Dude.
He wears nothing but armbands.
If he's a beast, that's okay. But you can't be a slappy and be doing this.
He's wearing 0. I feel like he's trying a lot of things out.
He's doing a lot, but let's look him up and see if he's good or not first. Because if he's good, it's all good.
I mean, this leg sleeve as well with the Longhorn on it.
Shoo. I'd have a Longhorn AI shooting sleeve if I was playing in Texas.
That's a lot. That's a lot of flair.
So did y'all see the Western Kentucky uniforms with the with Big Red now on the helmet? Well, they have a visor with Big Red's goofy ass eyes on the visor. That's not allowed, right? That's just for the video.
I think it's just for the video.
Okay. I thought they were. I'm sad that's the case. I wish they would let him play with the googly eye visor, but what are you gonna do? What are you laughing about, Danny?
I just saw it.
You saw it? Yeah, it's goofy as hell, and it would be really funny if you were to put it. Look at it right there, dude. If they would just let them play with that visor, it'd be so good. Isn't their quarterback a beast, by the way, too? That's also
I mean, they always have a beast at quarterback, but yeah, he's one of the leading passers in the country. Bailey Zappi ended up there last year, right?
Yeah, that's right.
From Houston Baptist to Western Kentucky.
To New England, where he's really just Mac Jones. At least he looks a lot like Mac. Hey, look at our boy Bryce Young on the TV right now with Marty. Let's go, Bryce.
What?
What'd I say? Oh, Jaden Daniels. Sorry.
I mean, Bryce Young is on the TV, so to T-Bob's
dang
point.
it, Bobby.
So this is the bit that I missed on last game day, Jake. That my guy Nathan was telling me about at Don Juan all Saturday. So Bryce Young and Jaden Daniels, did you see this? They grew up playing football against each other. Bryce Young has never beaten Jaden Daniels, and still has never beaten
until maybe the
Daniels.
NFL.
Yeah, that's true because Bryce is gone.
Bryce is gone.
Yeah,
and
Jaden could be as well. So yeah, kind of insane there. Jaden maintaining superior. I think Bryce Young played DB when they were little too, where Jaden was quarterback, but maintaining.
We talking about bylaws here.
Yeah. All right, we've gone long. Let's go to break. When we get back, now we can talk a little Saints because I feel like that's the LSU Arkansas talk for today. You're the better team. No excuses. I don't want to hear it. Just go win the game. And I'm fully confident that this team will. I'm more talking to everybody out there walking around on eggshells all scared. No. Don't go half-stepping. If you're scared, what do you do, Jake?
Go to church or buy a dog.
Yeah.
Or do both.
Those are the only two things, okay?
Yes.
What you don't do is bring that ish up in here.
Nope.
Okay? More OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
You know what you do bring up in here? Thomas email's cell phone number over there at Riverlands Insurance. And that Jake literally is bringing it up right now to give to you so that you can save thousands of dollars a year. Guys, I am not exaggerating. We just had a story the other day about a guy just kind of on a whim being like, oh, let's just see, what Thomas can save me. Same or better coverage, saving $4,000 a year when it's all said and done. I mean, what are we talking about? Like, that could be you. All you do is call this cell phone number, give them a few pieces of information. They shop around for you, and you end up with big savings. Riverlands Insurance, Thomas Megan, email. Call them today.
At 225-206-1517. And we remind you every single day, We're very fortunate to be on throughout the state of Louisiana. So wherever you're hearing us, we are talking to you. Don't allow the 225 area code to fool you. This is talking to every person in Louisiana. 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I am Juliet, daughter of Marguerite, granddaughter of Gabriel Piera. I come from a line of strong women, women who knew struggle and success too. Still, I was scared by my breast cancer diagnosis, but I had Blue Cross coverage, which meant I got care from top doctors. I'm strong like my mother and her mother before her. The right card, the right care.
Enter now for a chance to win a catch and cook fishing experience from the Louisiana Charter Boat Association with me, Chef Jay Ducote, winner of Beat Bobby Flay. Register now at gocatch.com. That's GEAUX catch.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty.
First round of the Prep Football Playoffs, and we get started Friday night at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview, presented by the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Then join us at 10 p.m. for the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, Your View, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back. OTB. Hanging out here on a Thursday, getting ready for another great weekend of football. Kind of sucks right now, man, because the Saints are not that exciting to talk about. Which, that's a feeling we have not had in a long time, right? Like, things even got bad last year and were certainly disappointing at times last year, but it was never like, I guess the conversation was never boring. you still always had discussion points. You had hope. You had things that you were maybe looking to grow on, and right now it just doesn't. I mean, we've broken it down. You're in a bit of purgatory. I mean, here we sit over halfway into the season, and maybe the most interesting conversation on the docket is whether or not, if Andy Dalton plays poorly and you lose to Pittsburgh, like, do you go back to Jameis Winston? And even that conversation, while maybe having some modicum of interest, is in and of itself disappointing. Because, again, you have a head coach you don't believe in. You have a front office that has completely eroded any goodwill. It is shocking. It's the old thing about reputation, right? It takes a lifetime to build up. It can be torn down in a day. It can take 15 years to build up and torn down in one CD Deuce trade. But, like, there's no real faith in the front office right now, which is a bit ironic given how good Chris Olave's been. But still, whatever. No faith in the front office, no head coach, no quarterback, no first-round pick. Awful place to be.
It's not great,
And here we are having to try to find something to talk about. And legitimately, Jake, I think the conversation is at quarterback, because I get it. Dalton's been good. Dalton's been good.
So
what if you lose to the Steelers on Sunday? You've lost 4 or 5.
Yeah, but it's not quarterback. That's where I have the issue. And this is nothing against Jameis Winston. This is watching the tape and seeing the offense with Dalton comparing to Jameis. Andy Dalton still grades out at 83% in the NFL. He's been 83% quarterback on Pro Football Focus. Jameis has been 65%. So for me, it's not an Andy Dalton problem. Has Andy Dalton been a world beater? No, he has not. But he's put the offense in at least a position to be in the games, in my opinion. Now, on the outside, what you have there, that's been a struggle outside of Chris Olave because of injuries. You haven't had like the same group of receivers and tight ends to throw it to game in and game out. I mean, you've had so many guys banged up. Now, your offensive line has been okay outside of left guard, but even that's kind of shuffled itself a little bit. So I think it's just consistently getting the same guys out there on the field. Like Alvin Kamara had the game against the Raiders, and then you come back and like the Ravens game just wasn't the same guy. Like the Ravens came in with a plan like Alvin Kamara is not going to beat us, and you have to have other guys step up, and they just have not had that.
And I feel you on that. I just think that like the whole reason you went to Dalton was because you feel like he gave you the best chance to win. He had the bad picks against the Cardinals. One of them not his fault. The other two, yes. He had the bad picks against the Ravens. Really, just the whole entire offense looked bad against Ravens. I just wonder if and Andy Dalton's a much better quarterback than Trevor Siemian. So he was able to keep it going for longer than Siemian was. But remember, Siemian was flashing for a minute last year. And we're like, okay, like this is doable. But Jake, you can speak to this better than anyone. Sure, you might catch a guy in the NFL maybe a bit unexpected for a week, maybe 2 weeks. But like every further week that they get on what Dalton and the Saints offense wants to be, combined with some of the personnel that they're missing, like it gets tougher and tougher for, I think, that Saints offense to find success. And granted, look, a lot of this, like, let's see what they do against the Steelers. Steelers are not good this year. If they go out there and they take care of business and they win that game, well, then Dalton gets to remain the quarterback. My point is, if the offense goes and looks like they've been completely figured out and they struggle horribly again, and you've now lost 4 out of 5, why not? You're paying Jameis. Why not go give him another shot? He won you the Atlanta game. Now he won it with Mike Thomas and Jarvis Landry. And so they're not there anymore? What's that look for?
I mean, they played 3 really bad quarters of offense, and then they came back in the 4th.
Yeah, but that doesn't – I mean, that was like the John Elway special back in the day, was playing bad and then coming back in the 4th like a beast.
You're comparing John Elway and Jameis Winston?
No, but I mean, what, you're going to say that he didn't win you the game?
I don't think there's any world where Andy Dalton goes 15-17, 200-plus yards, and has the fourth quarter.
Y'all are just y'all's Jameis Winston thought process –
I'm not even saying that
I think y'all are letting that preseason stuff creep into your mind right now.
I'm not even saying that Jameis.
Like any world, but you don't know that. Like you don't know.
Yeah, we've seen Andy Dalton late games.
I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the tape, and I have access to the tape, and I know what my eyes tell me. And again, this isn't a Andy Dalton is a world beater conversation. That is not it. And I do think the offense needs something else. But I just don't know that a quarterback change is going to give y'all what y'all are looking for.
Maybe it won't, but also I don't want to just keep losing with Andy Dalton if you're paying Jameis Winston. Let's see what now that he's healthy.
But you're not paying him enough to force playing time.
If you're already going to lose either way, yeah, I think there is an argument to be made to see if Jameis Winston can do more with these weapons if he's healthy. And if not, so what? Throw your arms up. Like it doesn't matter. It's not going to get any worse. It's not going to get any better. Now, Dalton controls this, though. Dalton controls this. If he goes out and shows that, look, yeah, the Ravens may have kicked their ass, but they're the Ravens. Like, they're one of the top 5 teams in the AFC. Like, of course they did. We're not any good.
Yeah, they've had a double-digit lead in every game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so there's no shame in that. And so if Andy Dalton goes out against the Steelers and does great, perfect. Then it's a meritocracy. Keep playing him. But if he looks bad and throws a couple more bad picks and can't win you game in a game situation, I'm down to give Jameis another shot and see if he's healthy or whatever. If he can if he can do something at least maybe somewhat exciting. I mean, it doesn't matter. Neither guy feels like they are going to be the answer either way. So and that's why this sucks is that it's all kind of much ado about nothing. But it is something to watch on Sunday as to whether or not Dalton can maintain, because the original logic was Andy Dalton gives you the best chance to win the games. If you're not winning the games anyway, well, then that logic kind of loses a lot of its luster. We'll see. Saints Steelers coming up on Sunday.
Something else that when you're looking at the Saints and the Ravens game, they only ran for 48 yards on 15 attempts. And Taysom had 1 carry for 6 yards. He had 1 throw for 13 yards. Again, like, they've got to find a consistency there with what he's going to be for that team.
Yeah.
And when you're struggling offensively and you have a guy that you are paying, I mean, you're paying him real money, right? I mean, he's making a lot of money, and we've seen him flash. I'm not saying he's the quarterback. Like, we've tried that. Like, been there, done that. But he is a weapon on the team, and you have to find the right formula and how many plays and how much of that you want to get to. Because one game, it'll flash. The next game, he touches it twice.
Yeah.
It's like there's got to be something in there that's consistent for him, for the team, and for the expectations of what he can be for you.
I mean, I don't think they'll do it just because the time sink they put in getting him out of the quarterback room. But, like, to be clear, I wouldn't care if they wanted to try Taysom at quarterback. If you lose to the Steelers, it's all bets are off. It just kind of is what it is. Let's start evaluating the pieces. Who do you have going forward, and who can maybe be a part of the impending rebuild? When we get back here on OTB, let's close out hour 1, talk a little LSU basketball. Keep it locked off the bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
If you love OTB, you love some Downsville Glass and Body, one of the OG sponsors, and you can go to dgnbauto.com, dgbauto.com. We told you the other day, Nick Frederick's birthday last Saturday. Got to imagine that's why LSU beat Alabama. That's how that works. And if you take advantage of that 24/7 towing offered by DGB, it'll be Nick Frederick showing up to make sure that your vehicle gets to where it needs to be. Any glass repair, you already know, it's Donaldsonville Glass and Body, dgbauto.com.
Go to DonaldsonvilleGlassandBody.com, a one-stop shop since 1977. If you need new tires, tire rotation, we always talk about windshield replacement and repair. Remember, they do have all the latest technology to be able to handle that. You might think everybody does. That's just not the case. You have to be able to have these sensors for these new windshields, and they have it over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. That's dgbauto.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career. Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate. We are loaded on a Thursday edition of Hunt and Hill. Reaction to LSU's basketball opener. We'll go to Northwest Arkansas and chat with Adam Hutchinson and Luke Johnson on the Black and Gold. Hunt and Hill 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. 10. Ground control 9, to Major Tom. 8, 7, 6.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
This is ground control to Major Tom.
Ooh. Damn. Rip to the goat. Been listening to a lot of David Bowie lately. I don't know what it is. Something in the air. Been a weird moon lately. Probably has something to do with it. Hey, so we had a big debut last night. The LSU men's basketball team kicking off the Matt McMahon era. How about it? Taking down the UMKC Roos. UMKC. No, UMKC. Yeah, UMKC Roos. 74-63. Adam Miller playing. We had the game on during Scone and Tea, but I got to be honest. I kind of watched it out of the corner of my eye, Jake, and then when I got home, I watched Andor.
You watch what?
Andor, because it's awesome and continues to be the best, like top 3 best Star Wars ever made. It's so sick. But a great win for the boys to start things off.
His first game out there is great to see Adam Miller finally like in action.
Yep.
And we've seen him obviously like in exhibitions, and we've heard practice tales, and to see him actually, and we've seen him other places, but to see him in an LSU uniform and to see him have a big game, I thought that was exciting for LSU fans. It's first game in a new era, and a first game obviously after the Will Wade situation. You bring in Matt McMahon, and you're wondering how it's going to work out, and you're wondering how the rotation's going to look because you have so many new players on this team. And so what you probably saw last night, if you go 4 games down the road, it might not look the same because this is a team that has to try to figure out exactly what their identity is, what the rotation looks like. They played a lot of guys last night, obviously, because it was all their first game together. And so, look, 74-63, you won by 11. Wasn't flashy, but you got what you had. You're counting in your head. If it was 11.
Yeah, I thought for sure I had it in my head as 9. I had my 4 and my 3 reversed. I was thinking 73-64. But yeah, look, I mean, look, nobody knows mid-major basketball like Jake does. The Roos are kind of frisky, right?
Yeah, they are.
They're not a bad team, certainly.
They have been in the past, yes.
Hour 2 next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yeah, we'll do some big deal or no big deal, and then we can return to some LSU men's basketball conversation as well a bit later show, and we got some Pels talk coming up, so some basketball coming up in this second hour. I want to remind you to go to Rejuve Me Medical, RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. If you're in Slidell, you're in Metairie, you're in Baton Rouge, they got you covered. Go in and just have the conversation. Let them draw your labs, see where your body's deficient, what it needs. Maybe HRTs for you, maybe not. Ask about the metabolization optimization, where they can get your metabolism working at peak efficiency. And I think you will really like the results, the ensuing results. So go see them today. RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com.
You go see them in person. You can go check them out online at RejuveMeMedical.com like T-Bob just gave you. Also, can call them at 225-230-4201. Have that conversation with them, RejuveMeMedical.com.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit. We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Thursday, November 10th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 79. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal. Coming up next, LSU soccer coach Sean Hudson joins the show at 8:30, and we have a new edition of Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OTB, hour number 2. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny hanging out with you today. Coach Hudson cannot join us today. We just got the text. Woke up feeling a little, under the weather. It's going around that time of year. Get it for sure. But we still got a great hour planned for you today. We still got our munchies coming up with Chef Michael Johnson as well. We got to talk about the bad news murder birds who, boys, 11 in and 6-5. Let's freaking fly. I mean, is that not exactly what we wanted before the season started?
Pelican fly. Come on, Pelican.
To survive.
I hadn't heard that.
A little random feeling, but does play. But to survive the 8 of the 11 on the road here early on. Now you got 6 home games in a row. That's a weird, 6 home games in a row.
6 home games, bruh?
6 home games in a row.
Get on the Nard, dude.
I'm like, let's go, bro. Easy money. Did you hear Jeff Saturday drop a bruh in Big Deal or No Big Deal, or in his press conference yesterday?
No.
Yeah. It was kind of like, I played in this league. I know, give me the Jeff Saturday sound. It's a great clip. Maxie, everybody else is highlighting it.
Oh, man. Yes. So, look, it's playoff time. I've been out at, doing shows or out at Traction playing flag football, so I've missed that, but I would love to see it.
Yeah, that's actually a good Big Deal or No Big Deal. Hiring someone who's never coached to be your NFL head coach. Hell yeah, dude.
Hadn't happened since the early 60s.
I have one other thing to say.
How about, I'll save it for Big Deal, No Big Deal.
All right, well, let's dive in then. A little Big Deal or No Big Deal?
Big deal. Ain't no big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal.
All right, what do you got, Jake?
Big deal or no big deal, when Tulane hosts UCF this weekend, it will be the first time Tulane has hosted a ranked-on-ranked matchup since 1949.
Wow.
Big deal or no big deal?
I mean, as a fan of history, I have to say that's a big deal. If something has not happened since before the Korean War, since right after World War II would have ended, I'm going to say that's a pretty massive deal. Very cool for all the Wave fans out there in the audience. Here's to hoping that Tulane can find a way to get it done. You're always going to be worried about Gus Malzahn. Gus Malzahn's sneaky. But I think Willie Fritz got it. Plus, they got Maddie. They're good to go, dude.
We talked with Willie Fritz yesterday. He's got the forever, and we've had him on here 1,000 times. He's got the forever coaching voice.
Yeah.
Like he's coached for 20 straight hours.
Yeah, it'll never leave him.
No.
His vocal cords.
I love it,
I mean, it's not unlike how I will probably sound when I get older as my vocal cords continue to deteriorate under the barrage. They're basically locked the gates, and I'm just slamming against them with yelling about random sports moments, questionable tobacco use, and too much drinking. Just shredding my vocal cords. Big deal, no big deal, boys. What you got?
Oh, next topic, or is that?
Yeah, I want to know about Tulane.
Okay, no. Next topic. Go to the NBA.
No, I was being serious.
I think we all agree that it's kind of self-evident that it's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Wow, Mario would have some. Not big deal.
Okay, I could maybe see that. But we like a good devil's advocate on here.
No contrarian take here. They should have got game day.
They should have gotten game day. You're right. Okay, good.
See, that's where I'm a big contrarian because I hate that it's going to Austin, and I would award it to Tulane over Austin, but I don't want to sit here and act like Tulane's fans have just been like super loyal to the program either.
They were last time out.
They look great.
You're staying over like the last decade plus.
And whatever, though. I mean, again, I don't go to games if teams are bad, so I get that as well. I get it all. Yeah, I'm being a curmudgeon. All right, what we got? Big deal, no big deal.
Big deal or no big deal. Lakers forward LeBron James left their loss to the Clippers yesterday with a groin injury. Did not return. Lakers are 2-9, currently tied for the worst record in the league with the Rockets. Come on, Tari East and Jabari Smith. Need y'all to step up a little bit. Big deal or no big deal. LeBron leaving with a groin injury, not returning.
Very big deal because I woke up this morning as I was going through my morning routine where I just kind of come to life while sitting on the toilet, just kind of relaxing, perusing Twitter and everything else. Saw that Anthony Davis was training. I'm like, what is this about? And it's just everybody just clowning the hell out of AD for just being completely feckless without LeBron and Russ out there. I mean, just not able to create on his own anymore. It's clear now that Dreads AD is objectively less cool than short hair AD. I never liked Dreads AD to begin with. I've always preferred short hair AD. I saw a quote from LeBron taken out of context about... or not taken out of context, I don't know the context around it, where he said, I guess I'm going to have to learn to start flopping. And I found that to be a little...
LeBron's been brutally honest with the media. It's been kind of funny.
Well, I mean, but like at the same time, like he kind of led the flopping revolution, which I'm not hating on. Like it became a legitimate strategy there for a while, but that quote is funny. It's only a big deal because cui bono, who benefits? The Pelicans do. And the worse they are, the better the pick gets. So hell yeah. Let's wrap. I mean, it's clear, dude, that after LeBron won that championship in Cleveland, he started to focus on building a business empire.
100%.
Right? And that's what AD is out there trying to do as well. The problem with AD is he doesn't realize that people don't like him like that, unfortunately. But hey, he got that wavy chip sponsor. What was it like Ruffles line?
Ruffles that nobody bought when the hurricane hit.
During a natural disaster no one wanted.
Oh, man. I was actually looking for my Ingram jersey today, and I saw my AD jersey, and I just laughed.
Oh, get that to Goodwill.
I had a lot of good memories.
Yeah, people who still wear that to the Smoothie King Center, let's not do that. I'm seeing way too many of those.
I agree with that. All right, Danny, you got one? No? Yes?
Yeah, I got a non-sports.
That's actually how this segment started.
Great.
Yeah.
So Hubie's Pies, they're back, and they're like, the demand for them is huge because they're already out of stock in stores.
Yeah, I heard that.
Devin Snow was looking for it. He's going to mention it probably next week.
He ordered them online.
Yeah, and they're $2.49 each now. They used to be 99 cents a single pie. You could buy 99 cents a pie.
Yeah. But when were they last sold, though? Wasn't it about a decade ago or something?
Yeah.
How long have they been disappeared for? That's what I'm
Long
saying,
time,
bro.
yeah.
Inflation's a hell of a thing.
Yeah. That is literally the line. You just pulled that out of my mouth and put it on the mic. That's exactly, yeah. It sucks, but it is what it is, you know?
And
it is a little stark when you see the 150% increase, though, because it's kind of like, because inflation is insidious because normally it happens bit by bit, and so you don't really notice, right? But when you see something jump from 99 cents to $2.50, you're like, oh my God, what's going on here, dude?
So $60 for a dozen.
Yep, $60 for a dozen.
Seems high. I think I'll do it once just because nostalgia. Eating, I mean, looks good. Chocolate, apple, lemon, pineapple, peach.
All the flavors are out except apple lemon.
Okay, well, lemon's the best.
You can only get apple lemon.
Lemon might be the best anyway.
It is.
I think I've only ever had apple. That's the only one I used to buy back in college.
I mean, apple's good.
Apple.
Mess with apple.
But I don't know. I've also never was like, I need my Hubie. So I don't. I mean, I'll probably wait.
That's for like nostalgia. That's what I'm saying.
No big deal for me, but it is cool that they're back. Very happy they're back. All right. Big deal or no big deal? The LSU women's basketball team just turned in the #1 recruiting class in the country. The #1 class in the country, of course, Michaela Williams, the #1 player in the country, headlines the class. But they went all over. They went to the Bronx. They went all over the country. They went to Illinois. The bottom line now, Coach Mulkey, after winning AP Coach of the Year in year #1, has now, I mean, how do you win in college? You recruit the best players. They have the #1 class. Great job. And obviously, I'm saying big deal because that is how you win a national championship.
Giant deal, huge deal, big deal, whatever word you want to use, that's what that is. number one is number one. And that's a very competitive sport with some blue bloods that typically don't give up that number one spot.
Yep.
And when you're kind of on the outside, now your program has had some runs for sure. I mean, they made the Final Four every year I was in college, but then it went to a low. And then immediately, once you take the job, you take it back to a high. And now that high is going even higher, and you're potentially getting to the top of that mountain. It's a big deal.
Boys?
Big deal.
Yep.
I mean, they scored 120-something points the other day.
125, yeah.
In any college basketball game, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Danny, you agree
Big
as
deal.
well? Yeah. All right. What do you got, Jake?
All right, big deal, no big deal. And I knew this fact because we've talked about it for years, but I did not do the research. Give a shout out to my guy, Cookmeyer. He did the research here. So big deal or no big deal. Little fun fact for LSU basketball fans and fans of soccer in the World Cup. Cameron Carter-Vickers was named to the U.S. men's national team for this World Cup cycle, plays for Celtic.
Oh, CCB.
A lot of people do.
Dude.
A lot of people do actually call him CCB.
Duh, dude.
You definitely didn't.
I'm a huge Celtic fan.
You definitely didn't know that. His
Is it
dad.
Celtic or Celtic?
Either way.
Okay, cool.
I mean, Celtic.
I mean, I know. I'm a big fan. I'm just wondering how you say it.
So his dad is actually Howard Carter. Remember, High C, back from the LSU basketball program.
That's
raised,
a nickname.
raised and played basketball for LSU from 1979 until 1983. The third leading scorer in LSU history. Started 128 games of his career. He was a first-team All-SEC honor in his junior and his senior season. Was also a second-team All-American in his junior and senior season. So, Howard Carter, High C, his son, makes the U.S. men's national team World Cup roster. Well, LSU tie.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal because I'm very excited for the World Cup. We're actually going to be out. U.S. and England play, right? Is it in the same group? I
Yes.
can actually tell.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
it's-
checked out. I got to catch up before we
Yeah,
start.
Wells as well. So Gareth Bale, I know you know him.
I know Gareth Bale.
So
for sure.
I'm getting you there.
Beautiful man. We're going to be at City Slice live for USA England. So let's have a few pints at 7 a.m., boys. What do we say? Let's go, dude. That's going to be very fun. So, yeah, big deal. Shout out. LSU tie. Even though it sucks, and trust me, I know, when your dad has a tighter nickname than you do. And CCB is cool, but it ain't close to High C.
High C is pretty.
And T-Bob ain't close. White Roach is cool, but not close to the Cajun Cannon. So I get it.
I mean, White Roach, I feel like you've gotten more nicknames since then, though. That's the one.
I think White Roach is probably actually the coolest, though. I mean, they called me Frankenstein in St. Louis. That's not that tight.
Actually, knowing you and knowing how your body's constructed,
I know,
it actually is pretty tight.
It is pretty funny. It's
Yes.
a mishmash of hobbled together different pieces. Like God was just taking from different grab bags and just kind of like using the leftovers from all the other bodies that were made. But you know what that means? Like NSYNC said, God must have spent a little more time on me. How about that?
I agree.
Boys, any big deal, no big deals back there?
So we've talked about this during the break, but not on the air. Yesterday, there were verified Twitter accounts telling me that Kenny Pickett had died, telling me that Josh McDaniels had been fired from the Raiders.
Yeah.
So that's gone into effect now. $8 a month for blue check marks. What do y'all think? Big deal, no big deal?
I am firmly in the no big deal camp here. I know a lot of people are panicking. And look, I guess I understand somewhat of the panic because I do go to Twitter for breaking news.
Yeah.
Like, it is the best way to find, like, injury reports, like, stuff that's going on in the world. And so maybe it's hard to find that information. I got to imagine they figure out, they're going to, like, zero in on something that'll essentially achieve the same thing the blue check mark was originally. You're trying to monetize it. I get it. I'll probably let this situation play out before I decide if the $8 a month is worth it or not. Now, $20 a month was absurd. Never was going to pay that. $8, I drink a cup of coffee from Starbucks a day. I kind of get it. Like, I use Twitter all the time professionally. So I'm not buying it here off the bat, but we will wait and see. Also, it's very funny how believable it is that Josh McDaniels will be fired.
Yeah, I think that's the part that we're not talking enough about. That's actually believable that he could let go because it's the Raiders and they've been really bad. I think it's a big deal because right, wrong, or indifferent, we do go to Twitter for breaking news. It's kind of our news source.
Yeah.
And that's what verification was really meant for. They'll work it out, though, I think, T, as well. So I kind of see your side.
Now they have, like, the gray check mark, right?
Yeah.
And so that's just going to be the new check mark. If
Yeah.
you get the gray one, then you're, like, an official news source or whatever.
Yes. They need to have different color check marks, like if you're sports, if you're news, if you're just entertainment.
Yeah.
It feels like that would help.
Look, I'm just along for the ride. I like Twitter. I know a lot of people don't, and I get on the political side of things that it gets very nasty. But I like Twitter because it kind of feels like you're watching sports in like the biggest bar in the world. When everybody's watching the same thing, it's always a lot of fun.
Ready for election week to be over. Talk more sports.
Yeah. But I mean, if you like Twitter, you should also be thinking politics because that's the only other thing that keeps it alive.
100%. Elon's a smart dude. There's some trial and error here. Eventually, it will be beneficial, I think.
You can click on the check mark and see if they paid for it or not. I don't know if you know that.
No, I did not.
Yeah, it should. If you click on it, it shows like this person paid for it.
Elon did take the one thing that the NFL gave me, that blue check mark. Son of a gun. Big deal or no big deal? Henry Cavill out as The Witcher.
Don't know who that is.
I saw Superman.
Henry Cavill is?
It's not surprising.
Superman. What?
It's not surprising.
And I saw Hemsworth is actually
Yeah, sure we should.
not that Hemsworth. The other Hemsworth is actually
Liam
taking
over
over
the Witcher.
for him, right?
Which I think it's probably no big deal because honestly, I ain't even finished Witcher season 2. There's all kind of rumors around the writing room, like not liking the source material or whatever. Look, I don't care. I just like Henry Cavill, and I want Henry Cavill to do whatever Henry Cavill wants to do. He is the nerd god. Have you ever seen him talk about Warhammer 40K? The man loves miniatures. He loves gaming PCs. He is like what every nerd should aspire to be, just a super jacked Chad that also loves nerdy stuff. I love you, Cavill. So
back
you do
as Superman.
And back as Superman. So that's cool. I would rather him do. Now that is interesting, Danny. Who directs Man of Steel 2?
Christopher Nolan.
You can't. You're out. Okay. Well, I mean, you laugh, but Nolan's brother did write these movies.
Yeah.
With why am I blanking? Snyder and Goyer. I mean, do you go Zack Snyder? Do you have Zack Snyder direct Man of Steel 2? I cannot fathom. Now, James Gunn is going to be in charge of DC, but would it not feel weird to have James Gunn's humor put over Man of Steel? Now, not that Man of Steel is great, but Man of Steel tonally and that Batman Superman movie are very like dark and serious. If you're doing Man of Steel 2, can you just completely change that tone?
No. I think you got to resume this.
I think you got to do. I think you got to go back to Snyder until you give Gunn the chance to kind of reboot things. Although I'm very excited to see what James Gunn can do with DC. Jake, seen a lot of green there. How's it going?
All right, we're good. We'll figure it out. We're in a good position here on DraftKings.
Okay, there we go, dude. Shout out the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download it today. More on that in a bit. Let's go to break. OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to GEAUXroof.com, GEAUXroof.com. 927-8300 is the number, 927-8300, where you're going to get a beautiful new roof every shingle time. God, the top of my arms are so pale. They've been hanging out under a roof. You know what I'm saying? Because my roof works. If you're getting a tan while sitting in your living room, you should probably call Go Roof. You have a hole in your roof. But it doesn't have to be like some massive hole with sunlight pouring through. Just call them up, get that free professional estimate. They come out of your home. You get an idea of what it's like to work with them. You're going to learn exactly what's going on. And then you make a fully informed decision about what you want to do next. I always highlight this, but because it's worth highlighting, they offer a free 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. So they are going out of their way to tell you that, look, you can trust us. We stand by our work. And on the off chance that anything does go wrong, you are covered. No worries. Go Roof! Roof's up.
Professional golfers John Peterson and JJ Colleen answer all your golf and life questions inside the new Drop Biscuit Studios podcast for the people. Download or subscribe today at dropbiscuit.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz vans.
3 people walk into a bar. The first 2 order the same old margs. The third, Nuevo Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer. Crafted with real lime juice and the crisp tequila flavor. Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
NFL is back. Our coverage starts Sunday at 10 a.m. with Magnolia Bluffs Football Sunday with Jimmy Ott, immediately followed by the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings at noon, right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob, the 2022 LAB Prestige Award winner for Best Sports Radio Show, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Look, yes. Okay, chat. I hate sleeveless shirts. I've always hated sleeveless shirts. I don't want to be sleeveless right now. But I got cocky. It was kind of cold this morning, so I was like, ooh, I'll wear a hoodie with my jersey on over it because I enjoy that look. I like a jersey over a hoodie. And it's just too hot in the studio. We do push-ups. I was sweating. Don't have a shirt. And so here we are. I'm going to burn out your televisions. And I apologize.
Yesterday it was the thighs. Today it's the buys.
Yeah, fair. God, I mean, look at this shoulder right here. Look at how white that thing is.
Well, I will also say,
right in with the All-Star sign behind me.
I will also say the lighting in this studio makes everything look real white.
Which is good. It's not bad for your face, right? A lot of times it kind of help.
Like I have I wear a hat. I don't know.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. I apologize.
I blame Danny. It's Danny's fault.
You know what's pretty wild? We're about to talk about the Pelicans in a minute, but Connor O'Gara from Saturday Night South with a great tweet.
Is he related to Connor O'Gara?
Connor O'Gara.
Oh, I actually like that better.
It's wild, and this is his tweet, quote, "It's wild to think that between Hendon Hooker, Bryce Young, Jaden Daniels, and Stetson Bennett IV, only 2 of those guys will be all-conference players by season's end." That is pretty insane. That also gives you an idea of just how great the quarterback talent is in this league this year. And it's interesting because does it come after what was it, like 2 or 3 years ago where there were like no quarterbacks left? And that was one of the big offseason storylines for the SEC. And now you look and you have 4 All-American guys and not even 2. And 2 of them won't even be all-conference.
Yeah. So they have an all-purpose on the All-SEC team. Could Jaden Daniels find himself on the all-purpose line?
Maybe. I mean, right?
Because you just don't see a quarterback on that line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
for
you
sure.
typically see a returner, somebody that's on offense or defense and is good but not great on that side, but he's like an elite returner. Like you'll see a guy pop up there, but I'll go Jaden Daniels all-purpose. I mean, because he's done it multiple ways.
Jaden Daniels deserves some sort of award for something in here. We will see what ends up happening. So I do have. So the whole point why I ended up sleeveless though is because I was super hyped on the Pelicans and I wanted to wear my Brandon Ingram jersey because Brandon Ingram took over last night in the fourth quarter as the Pelicans beat the Bulls 115-111. The depth of the Pelicans continues to shine, boys. Larry Nance out, Jake. I still have to pinch myself to believe that we live in a world where it's like, oh, Larry Nance is out. Let's just play the Euro 2022 MVP instead. Like maybe we can give the Euro 2022 MVP a few minutes here or there. So like Billy Hernan-Gomez just steps right up in there. That kind of blows me away.
I actually wouldn't hate to see him more, but yeah, to your point, that's a nice luxury to have.
But who are you going to take out? I mean, Valanciunas dominated in the first half.
Not even a lot, but just maybe some.
He's been liking tweets about his lack of playing time too. That's kind of been highlighted.
Because
well, I mean, dude, he just won MVP.
In a tournament that had stars.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was a non-NBA player tournament. I mean, it had all-stars in it.
Yeah, he's not going to accept just not playing.
Yeah, I mean, so I get that frustration there, and I also get your question, who are you going to take out?
Larry Nance has been great for you.
Scary Larry's not going anywhere. I mean, he is so good for this team, and he buys into his role, and he's kind of the leader of that second unit.
Yep,
I mean, he goes out there, and he's got so many years, obviously.
Second line, boys.
Thank you. Jackson Hayes didn't play in this game, and so if he's going to get minutes, it's probably going to come from Jackson Hayes and not from Larry Nance.
Yeah, I would give Billy minutes over Hayes. Hayes remains, obviously an athletic freak, but there's just, I don't know, Mar, you can probably speak better to what exactly holds Hayes back. But he always has a flash or two, like every year where he has an extended run of play where you're like, oh, Jackson Hayes is finally going to be that guy.
Yeah.
And then it ends up going to Ryan one way or another. Other takeaways, Mar, before we get to you here. I still think it's crazy that we also live in an era of Pelicans basketball where they consistently finish strong, even on the road. And probably what the lead of all of this should have been is Brandon Ingram taking over at the end of the game when he hadn't done much all night long. Yep. And Zion had a bit of a fourth quarter as well, take over in like the middle of the fourth quarter where he got you some big buckets. But down the stretch, when you're going tit for tat, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left, Brandon Ingram not just making shots, but making tough shots. Those Kevin Durant, Brandon Ingram, we played him next to Kobe Bryant, those kind of moves where it's like, I'm just taller than you and longer than you, and if I'm fading away, you can't block this. Like, I don't care how good your defense is, you physically, probably Herb Jones is the only guy who can block a Brandon Ingram shot, and they're on the same team. So, to me, what I love seeing about Ingram take those shots and make them is that, first off, this has been years in the making. He has been training. He was awful in the fourth quarter a couple of years ago. They kept feeding him. I think last year he definitely started to improve. And now this year he looks like someone who is so comfortable in those high-pressure fourth quarter spots. He wants the ball. He wants to be the one to finish. And that is you need that guy. Like, now at the end of the game you need buckets. It's not going to be him every time, but the majority of the time you want everything to run through Brandon Ingram. Mario, host of the Flock Up podcast, which comes out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. What did you see?
Oh, yeah, Brandon Ingram was big time. He was cold to start the game. He had 22 points in the game, but in the final 5 minutes, he had 14, 5 of 6 from the field, some really tough shots. He's not Kobe Bryant, but the shot selection you see down the stretch of games, very similar, right? And Jonas Valanciunas was big time. So through 3 quarters, Zion, CJ, and Ingram had 19 points, and Jonas Valanciunas had 21 going into the fourth quarter. So he's a really underrated big man, and the defense continues to be really good. This is a game where the Pelicans shot 3 of 19 from 3, and they still won the game.
Ooh.
And
On the road, it's not a bad Bulls team.
Yeah, and they're frustrated. Brandon Ingram, after the game, said, "We're still sugar, honey, iced tea on defense," which they kind of are.
What is that?
The acronym.
Like sweet?
No, sugar, honey, iced tea.
I've never heard that. Took me way too long to get to. I've
Never heard that?
Before. I was just thinking, like, is it like sweet? So they're soft? Like he's saying they're too sweet on defense?
Some things definitely need to improve.
I don't know.
I know some people have questions.
I love that you just admit you like.
I had no
some
idea,
people like.
dude. I've never heard sugar honey.
There's some people that would sit in that chair and be like, "Oh yeah."
That's like the
like,
first time
what?
I ever heard BFE. It blew my mind.
I heard it from Madagascar.
Like it was in college. I had never heard it before, and somebody said BFE
College?
in college.
That's a Louisiana thing.
And I think that maybe that was a bit of it, but I was like, what combination of words just came out of your mouth?
I mean, it's all the way out there in BFE.
Yeah, no, I obviously he actually said it, and I was like, what? What does Egypt have to do with anything? Okay, sorry. So they are still sugar hunter iced tea on defense.
Yes, and I want to give, so Mario always finds a player, depending on which teams we're talking about, that he kind of falls for, and he waxes poetically about them, and I'm going to say most of the time it hasn't worked out for him, but I want to give him some credit. Najee Marshall has been somebody that he is championed for a couple of years now, and he is playing at the Mario level. He was +6 in the plus-minus last night. He had 9 points, played 22 minutes, had some key rebounds as well. So I do want to give a shout-out to Mario because he was on Najee Marshall before anybody else was.
Yeah, and all Najee Marshall does, it's never high volume, but it's always clutch.
Yep.
Just always clutch buckets.
It's buying into your role, too.
Yes.
That's what this team does so well, and I think that's why this team is going to continue to get better. You've got a second line that is just happy to help the team however they can.
Yeah.
And that's not the case in professional sports.
No.
You got egos. You got guys wanting more. You got guys that think that they should be doing A, B, and C. It's like, no, you just got to have your role. Like Jose playing 13 minutes last night. Like Jose's better than playing 13 minutes. But last night, that's what the game called for. And you're not going to hear him complain. And so for me, that's the key factor. They have stars, but they also have role players that accepted their role and they're okay with that role and they know it can help the team win games.
Yeah, and then one of the other stars, Herb Jones continues to be fantastic defensively. Some good offense out of Herb yesterday as well. He had one play where he gets the rebound, takes it coast to coast himself, crosses up the defender, and then just finishes with a two-handed slam where you're like, oh, my God, how good is this kid going to be when it's all said and done? And how did Trey Murphy do last night, Mario?
Didn't get too much playing time, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He got 20 minutes last night.
Yeah, 20 minutes, 2 points on 0-3 shooting.
That's what I'm saying, though. Again, I take these as positives when you tell me that your big three didn't actually play well through the first 3 quarters and you needed a Valanciunas to step up or a Najee Marshall or Hernan Gomez, because, again, all of this speaks to team. You're going to play 82 of these games. You need to be able to weather storms. You need to be able to adapt to whatever the situation at hand demands, and that seems like what this team is capable of. And now, 8 of these first 11 games on the road. Are you kidding me? Finally returning home with a back-to-back, which I've forgotten they still do those in the NBA. We used to complain about them constantly. But they will be in action tonight against the Blazers in the Smoothie King Center. If you are looking for something to do, support the best professional sports team in New Orleans. I'm pretty sure you could probably, for a midweek game, you could probably still get fantastic prices. Go kick off your weekend the correct way by watching. And look, you got to love the storylines, right? Josh Hart returning, who it's got to be a bit bitter for him. This fan base loved him. He played with pure heart. It wasn't his fault that he had to get dealt, right? And he certainly, he showed up at the playoffs last year. Like, you know how much he misses the environment and everything here. He'll be back. CJ McCollum playing against his old team. A fantastic night coming up in the blender for your 6-5 New Orleans Pelicans.
There's fantastic tickets still available. I mean, you can get tickets for as low as $10, but you can get like some premium seats for $47 right now. Like some pretty good. I mean, right there behind the basket for $34. So.
Also, Portland's pretty good right now. They're 8-3 on the season. Lillard's back healthy. Josh Hart's a beast. Like that. That's a good team, at least up until this point in the season.
Yeah. Going to be an exciting night in the blender. All right. When we get back here on OTB, talk a little college football. Want to look across the country a little bit. Keep it locked. 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. You go to All-Star Toyota today and let them be your guide in the car buying wilderness. Okay, Toyotathon's going on, which means they got great deals. Shout out to my guy, Matt Branch. Just joined the minivan gang. He got himself a fresh, brand new Sienna.
You wasn't scared?
All white with black wheels. Guys, it looks so clean. So clean. Also, he now knows the joy of being able to automatically open your sliding doors with like 18 different buttons. Nothing better in the world.
It's a flexing carpool.
It's the absolute best. Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge today. Go take advantage of that Toyota Care warranty. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, you've been hearing me say all week, if you want to go make the trip to Fayetteville to watch the Tigers play, like, don't worry. You didn't have to do this like a week out. Like, you can call them today. You can go over there to Airline Highway. You can get that rental today. Per day rental prices, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights.
Map
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Ryan Clark joins us. Mike Triplett talking Saints. Quinn Grovey from the Arkansas Sports Radio Network, 3 to 6. Join us, AFR, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. But they fought with expert timing. There were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown. They were chopping them up. They were chopping them down. It's an ancient Chinese art, and everybody knew their part. From a fainting to a slip, and a kicking from the hip. Everybody was kung fu fighting.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Hanging out with you here. I'm going to put a link. I've not listened to this yet, so we will. I don't know if I want to. Let me know if it's. We'll see if we play it or not this segment. But it's Emily Dixon sitting down with Coach Kelly. Comes from the LSU football account, and it's basically a minute and a half answer on refocusing for Arkansas. I would love to hear what Coach Kelly has to say. I just put it on the 8:30 segment, boys, if you want to go ahead and check that out. Jake, how's your parlay going over there? You are deep in the DraftKings woods right now. Of course, you can join Jake deep in those money-making woods by downloading the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Promo code Baton Rouge is going to get you all sort of great sign-up deals. They got great deals going on constantly, great boosts, everything else. If you like parlays, same-game parlays, whatever.
I just had a nice 14 parlay, all plus odds, and I just cashed out because I was nervous.
Wow. So, when did you start putting this together versus when did you get paid?
I probably started putting it together 8 o'clock.
This guy is undefeated when it comes to making money on parlays. No, but undefeated when it comes to making money on parlays.
Well,
it's unreal.
I got a little sweaty pond. It wasn't big enough for me to be this sweaty. I mean, it was big, but I don't know. Something felt, when you have 4 legs and 3 legs hit and you're like in the 82nd minute in the third and you just see the cash out there, it's hard not to hit it sometimes.
So if you want to experience this for yourself, you can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code Baton Rouge, and have some fun.
21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. Minimum $5 deposit. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. 7867.
I had this on the docket for later, but since we're only going to do a couple minutes here before we go to break to wrap up hour 2, Zach Moe says, by the way, if you aren't watching Andor, you are heavily missing out. We'll see how it ends, but it's the best thing Disney Star Wars has made. I think it's even better than Mando. That may sound extreme, but I get where he's coming from. As I've been saying, I think Andor is probably a top 3 Star Wars thing that has ever been made. And then the thing about it is now it's different, right? Mando is very campy. You can watch Mando with your kids. I don't know if you can actually watch Andor with your kids. Like your kids you could.
Yeah.
But like it's like a little adulty. It's definitely more adulty than you're used to. You're not really dealing with Jedi and stuff, which is very refreshing. It's just very different. And different is good. Different, I think, is what a lot of Star Wars fans have been pining for out of Disney. And everybody who did that show is just bringing it, man. Every now and then, Jake, all the disciplines come together and make true movie magic, right? Your sound, your composers, your cinematography, your special effects, the actors, no matter how big or small the role is, this is one of those moments where all the disciplines are working in concert. There's no weak link on this team. They have a process. Feel a lot like LSU right now. Andor does. And the process paying dividends. I'm excited for you to have your kids talked about it at all? Like, is Knox not watching it?
So with the way the sports schedule is right now, like we literally don't have time to watch it by the time we get home after the 3 games. But what do I need to watch before I watch this? Because I did watch Obi-Wan.
Probably just Rogue One.
I thoroughly enjoyed Obi-Wan.
I would say just the movie Rogue One is the only thing. It's a prequel to the show is a prequel.
Obi-Wan
to that
did a really nice job of it was a 3-minute recap.
Yeah.
Hey, here's what it is. Here's what you need to know. Watch the series.
I mean, you could honestly watch Andor without even watching Rogue One and win it. You would be completely fine. Andor is probably the biggest type of show that you can go completely blind in and enjoy. Somewhere along the line, Danny stopped consuming pop culture. Otherwise, I'd love to get his opinion on it, but you know. And then Mario just watches crime dramas. Wrapping up hour 2 when we get back. Go to it.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org.
He does watch crime dramas.
That's it, dude. First 48. He loves a good first 48, dude. Cold case.
Research.
I have heard the rebooted Unexplained Mysteries is pretty good.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries. And I used to love some Unsolved Mysteries back in the day. It used to scare me, though.
And every time I'd be like, I don't know the answer. It's because it's unsolved, Jacob.
centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Make no mistake about it. They will solve your plumbing problems. Okay, no unsolved mysteries when you deal with Central Plumbing. 925-8552. Go to centralplumbing.org. 24/7 emergency service. If you need them anytime around the holidays, hit up our friends, loyal supporters of the show that allow us to do it. Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, T-Bob said, look, 24/7 means 24/7. So yes, the holidays are coming. And if you've got a lot of family in town, the last thing you want is to have a plumbing issue. So if you do have it pop up, write this number down. Remember this number, 225-925-8552.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance. This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us
every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7.
Jimmy Ott and Charles Henegriff for the Thursday evening edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're downtown at Jolly Pearl Oyster Bar on north facing Town Square. Game Time, 6 to 8 p.m. presented by Bet Rivers on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Mark, Danny hanging out this morning. Thursday weekend is here. Pelly's back in action tonight. Men's basketball back in action Saturday. I believe women's basketball back in action tomorrow. Sports calendar rolling right along. LSU, Arkansas, 11 a.m. Kind of excited. I fully expect LSU to take care of business, and then I fully expect to get to enjoy watching. I fully believe that LSU fans will be treated to the experience of watching LSU win and then getting to watch an Alabama-Ole Miss game that will decide whether or not they win the West right then and there, which is tight.
Yeah, which is a great experience to sit there. And oddly enough, you're rooting for a team that you don't ever root for to be able to go out there and win a football game. But
because if Ole Miss wins, they're actually still in the playoff combo. Now they don't control their destiny. Because it would take LSU losing.
I see what you're saying, yes.
Yeah, no.
Because of one loss.
Bro, if Ole Miss wins and LSU trips up one of these last two,
yeah, for sure.
Then all of a sudden they could rock it up. But they'd have to beat Georgia. But if they did beat
Which
Georgia,
is an
they
awful
would be
matchup for them. But yes.
Yeah, I know. But they would be a one-loss SEC champ. So
Yeah.
they have a lot to play for.
sure.
Alabama does.
Yeah, Alabama certainly does, right?
Yeah. They win because they just need to avoid. 3 losses on a Nick Saban team.
What?
Have we ever seen that? Did that team that lost to Sugar Bowl to Oklahoma lose 3?
Didn't the team with Ingram his senior year lose 3 games that y'all beat? They lost to South Carolina, LSU, and then one more.
Yeah, it's happened.
Yeah.
Let's go year by year. Okay, whatever. Before we do that, if LSU's going to do this, they have to beat Arkansas. Here is Brian Kelly on how to refocus and get ready for the Hogs.
Because we've been talking about this since January. The process that we're in is the consistent application of it. It's not, let's just do it sometimes and get by on others. Because if that was the case, then we'd have up and downs. This group understands consistently what they need to do, and now go back and do it again. Because if they do that, if they stick with what we've been doing, they're going to be fine. They'll go out and they'll play the right way. They'll play and perform at the highest level, and the outcomes will take care of themselves. If they don't stick with it, we won't be a consistent football team, and they'll know what the outcome is.
Even after a strong performance in the win against Alabama across all 3 phases, where would you specifically like to see improvements this week and across the rest of the stretch of the final regular season?
Yeah, I think it's like anything else. Those key downs, the high stress downs, where we struggled obviously offensively is when we got behind the chains. We can't have penalties that put us behind the chains. When we stayed in front of the chains, we were hard to stop. We didn't get stopped. And then defensively on 3rd down, we had too many penalties that kept drives alive. So on those high stress downs, when it matters the most, we've got to come up with our best performance.
Thanks a lot, Coach Kelly. Good luck this weekend in Fayetteville.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It is unreal how likable Brian Kelly has made himself in terms of the thoughtful answers that he gives, actually going into depth on things. And look, I know that when things are going well, it helps. But when things were going poorly this beginning of the year, he was the exact same way, right? And I love that answer, Jake, because that answer is validation of everything that we've been saying on this show all week long. And it's something that the follow, when I watch it on LSU Gold, showed me, is this whole idea of when you trust the process, the outcomes take care of themselves. It is thinking rooted and being present. When you're too worried about the outcome, that carries with it an inherent feel of failure. When all you're worried about is what is my task at hand, what am I supposed to be doing right now, that is how you just do your best within the moment, and then the outcome takes care of itself. You heard it there. Consistency.
And it feels like they just had this demeanor about them that's not going to get too high. It's not going to get too low. There's not peaks and valleys to it. It's like consistent. He said consistent, I felt like numerous times in that.
Yes.
Right? He wants to stay consistent. He doesn't want it to be, built up too big or obviously fall too low.
Hour 3 coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bug.
Enter now for a chance to win a catch and cook fishing experience from the Louisiana Charter Boat Association with me, Chef Jay Ducote, winner of Beat Bobby Flay. Register now at gocatch.com. That's GEAUX catch.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Thursday, November 10th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 79. Coming up on OTBOT, we have a new edition of Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT. Live for the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio. Starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 3 of OTB. I don't like the look on that face there, T-Bob Hebert. Hey, you almost missed Danny and Mario about to brawl. What happened? Danny threw something at Mario. He was trying to do the read. It was a step too far. Danny even felt bad about it.
Oh, okay.
A lot of Brother Martin talk randomly over there behind the walls. I don't know what's going on over there.
Roommates, dude. Boys will be boys. Yeah. Roomies. Just a little roomie drama. Why are you shaking your head, Mark?
Danny threw the pen at my face while I was reading the intro.
Accident. It slipped out of my hands.
Do we have video evidence?
How about we come on, dude? How about you?
Yeah, we can review the tape.
How about you
Look at my hand motion.
Why don't you own it?
Slip out.
Mario, throw the red flag.
HR is on the way up.
There's nothing worse you can do than not own what you clearly feel bad about. If you're trying to say that it slipped out of your hand.
He's about to be like, well, T-Bob threw something at Hester the other day.
No doubt. No doubt about that. That is a classic Danny technique. Boys, it's time for United Front. Okay, it's not time for us to be at each other's throat. Okay, LSU's about to win the West on Saturday. Murderbird 6-5, back in action tonight in the blender. Saints are playing football.
Tulane hosting their first ranked on ranked matchup since 1949.
Yes,
a game in which it was Tulane versus, you probably guessed it, LSU.
And who did they debut? You just sent us a tweet from Ross Dellinger. They debuted. Was it Pete?
They had a pelican in a cage.
Yeah. Oh, we see your live Bengal tiger in a cage, and we raise you Pete the Pelican. How about that?
You know that was part of the thought process
100%.
too. Like, y'all got a tiger? All right,
100%.
All right. This pelican in his cage.
Did you say in each other's throat or at each other? I think maybe I said in each other's throat.
Ooh.
We don't need to be at or in each other's throats. Neither one, boys.
Danny, can we pull up the picture of that pelican in the cage? Thank you. God, way to go, Danny.
Yeah, there he is, dude. Look at that, man. Hey,
This is in 1949. Look at the crowd, though.
I was just about to say, that
Whoa.
crowd is popping, bruh. If Yeoman looks like that on Saturday, Tulane's going to be just fine. That crowd is out for blood right there, dude. Also, just look at how old this is.
I love that, though.
Danny, zoom in on that guy's camera. Think about the cameras that you go to LSU and you shoot games with, Daniel, and then look at this unit. God, look at that crowd, though, again.
That crowd is fantastic.
Oh, man, look at that old school camera, dude. That thing is so cool looking.
Yeah, because Tulane, weren't they the school back then?
Yeah,
they were the premier school?
Yes, I think they were. Both teams were big time, I believe.
Yeah, and Tulane has 3 SEC titles. I mean, to their name. I mean, they were a standard. I mean, for a while, it felt like. Now, this was kind of in the article, and Ross did a really nice job of writing the article. This was kind of when you could start to see it going the other way, around this time.
So that's going on this weekend. LSU men's win their debut at Mac McMahon. LSU women signed the #1 class in the country, and also will dominate in their opening against Bellarmine. How about this? If you love LSU baseball, like for all the Hunt Palmers and Matthew Musos out there, you have a very cool weekend coming up, Jake. So the classic fall ball scrimmages are the same as they always have been. Thursday, Friday, if you want to go, open to the public, inter squad. But on Sunday at noon, LSU UL, a little exhibition game. How about that? That's not entirely devoid of juice. If you want to go enjoy some baseball in the fall, LSU UL is probably about as cool of a matchup as you'll get in the box for free. Noon, dates open at 11. So again, boys, there's only reason to be excited. We get a little Thursday night football night. Who plays tonight? Do we know? Do you know off the top of their
When
head?
I say I literally have No idea.
Which I'm shocked because you've been spending a lot of time with DraftKings, and I assume that you would have just stumbled over it. I know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's Falcons, Panthers.
Oh, well, that also
We probably
explains.
should have known that as well.
Well, but that also explains why we didn't know.
NFC South.
Yeah, it's Falcons.
Let's go Panthers.
Sure.
Well, I mean, see if we can.
Mathematically, that would help us the most.
Oh, cool.
See if DJ Moore can keep his helmet on this time.
Sure. Whatever.
Still, though, he was off the field to play. It shouldn't have been.
That
called
is true.
penalty, but-
Yeah, that is crazy. I can't believe they screwed that up.
I mean, that's a stupid rule.
It is a stupid rule.
You have to realize intent as well. Somebody takes their helmet off to swing it. Okay, 15 yards, and maybe a FedEx. Well, no, you will get a FedEx in your locker.
Yeah, but what if I'm just taking off the celly a little bit with the boys, dude?
Come on.
That's that weak stuff, dude. That ain't football.
I mean, shout out to my guy Kirk Herbstreit. You've got to talk about Panthers Falcons and make it sound interesting. You will because you're the GOAT, but good luck on that one.
Danny, I texted you. I don't know how Kirk does it. How does he do all these different jobs? Danny, I texted you the Jeff Saturday video. Do you have it ready to roll? Okay, Jake, here is Jeff Saturday in his press conference as Colts head coach.
Here's the deal. Everybody talks about I'm completely comfortable in who I am as a man, bro. I know I can lead men. I know the game of football, and I'm passionate about it. I have no fear about, are you as qualified as somebody else? Bro, I spent 14 years in the locker room. I went to playoffs 12 times. I got 5 dudes in the Hall of Fame that I play with. You don't think I've seen greatness? You don't think I've seen how people prepare, how they coach, how they GM, how they work? I mean, won Super Bowls, been to 2. Here's the deal, man. None of us are promised a good job. I may be terrible at this. And after 8 games, I'll say, God bless you. I am no good. I may be really good at it. I got no idea. But I dang sure ain't going to back down. I can tell you that. Here's the deal.
I mean,
I like a good dang sure.
Just so awesome in so many ways. First off, he went from bro to bruh. I love that. He's like, bro, I played 15 years, blah, blah. But also, it does highlight the insanity a bit of what Jim Irsay's done when your interim head coach is like, I got no idea if I'll be any good at this or not. But I do love Saturday's confidence. That's the only way you make it. What do you say, 13 or 15 years?
15, I believe.
The only way you make it 15 years in the NFL is if you have absolute and utter confidence in yourself and the ability to get the job done no matter what is asked of you. So I'm not saying that it's going to work out, but I am fascinated to see what happens. I still don't know who's going to call plays. Nobody on staff has ever called plays. So they'll have to figure that out, but that's kind of a minor detail. And once they get that going, well, then you're golden. Who knows? Maybe they have somebody like a Steve Insminger who's been sitting there for years just laughing at Frank Wright when to call his own plays. Probably not, though.
Yeah, it looks like it's 30-year-old pass game specialist / assistant QB coach Parks Frazier.
Yeah.
Will be calling plays for the Colts.
It's a very fraternity-sounding name.
8
Parks
years of
Frazier.
experience in the NFL. I had no idea. I'm looking at this coaching staff right now. I knew they had Gus Bradley because that was one of the things. You have Gus Bradley on your staff. He's been an NFL head coach. Why don't you just make him the interim coach? And so I knew that. I had no idea.
Bro, you got a wild card owner.
I had
And
no
I love
idea
Irsay, but you got a wild card owner.
that my man John Fox was a senior defensive
You have
analyst.
John Fox on the staff, and you went with Jeff Saturday as the interim?
John Fox has 40 years of experience in the NFL.
Surely John Fox said no, right? Probably not.
Yeah. You know who's on this staff that we hadn't talked about yet? Kevin Mawai.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, he's the assistant offensive line coach.
Did he just get center cucked? I mean, what? You're going to give it to a center with no coaching experience, and yet here I am, a Hall of Fame center with coaching experience?
That's actually
Is he going to give it to Jeff?
Cato June's on this staff, another former
Jeff.
Colt.
What's that from? Jeff.
21 Jump Street.
Oh, yes. Yes. I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. A very good remake. One of the absolute best, dude.
Reggie Wayne's on this staff. A lot of former Colts. Cato June, Reggie Wayne, now Jeff Saturday.
Irsay, baby. Hey, never forget upper quartile of the upper quartile. So I have a buddy that works for the Colts, and I actually legitimately do like Irsay. He's been doing a bunch of cool free events for the city, putting on all kind of concerts. He was kind of one of the straws that broke the camel's back and finally got Dan Snyder to start the process to sell the commies. So I'm a fan of Ursi. I just I wonder if he's playing a little too fast and loose here. I don't know. Only time will tell. But I agree with this in the chat. Less is more. It says, I love Jeff's attitude. We'll see if it translates to success. But yes, that's the only way you can take that job when somebody calls you and says, hey, I know you've never coached, but do you want to be an NFL head coach for half a season in the middle of it? The only way you take the job is if you have that attitude.
How many former Colts did they offer this to before Jeff Saturday?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think many. Maybe Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, for sure.
For sure. But then probably right to Saturday.
Did Brandon Stokely get a call?
No.
I don't know. Stokes pretty high up there.
I love Brandon Stokely. But
Austin Collie. Solid receiver.
No. Did Bob Sanders get a call?
No. You know, sad. They probably didn't even call Edgerrin James. And that pisses me off. Probably didn't even call Marvin Harrison. Ridiculous. Marvin Harrison Jr., by the way.
Dwight Freeney? Robert Mathis? Anybody get a call there?
I guess Reggie Wayne's on the staff.
Yeah.
And he didn't even get it.
Jacob Tammy?
Dallas Clark?
No.
Oh, Dallas Clark. Yeah, that's a good one.
A bunch of good old Colts.
He killed us in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Who won the game?
Do you ever see those?
Joe Adai? Joe Adai get a call?
Yeah. Do you ever see those McFarlane toys? They're like starting lineup.
Yeah.
They're like way better detail and everything, the football ones. I had an Edgerrin James one that I was obsessed with growing up. I had Edgerrin James, Marshall Faulk, Warren Sapp, and Mike Allstott. What a sick collection, dude. I had somebody on the Bears
Warren
as
Sapp,
well.
Bucks or Raiders?
Bucks. Warren Sapp, right? What? I forgot that Warren Sapp played for the Raiders. What are you talking about?
Well, the timeline kind of matches up with Raiders Warren Sapp.
No, I loved, who did I have? Oh, and I had Brian Urlacher. God, what a great set of toys. I wish you could find those. When we get back, let's do a little.
I think the All-Star for sure.
No, not for you. That's for me. When we get back, more OTB. We got some munchies coming up. Put your munchies questions in the chat. More coming up next.
OTB, OT. Professional golfers John Peterson and JJ Colleen answer all your golf and life questions inside the new Drop Biscuit Studios podcast for the people. Download or subscribe today at dropbiscuit.com.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar.
First round of the Prep Football Playoffs, and we get started Friday night at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview, presented by the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Then join us at 10 p.m. for the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, Your View, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
We were just looking at the Pelicans' new City Edition jerseys, kind of like the old ones, but with like a dark purple instead of white. I like these way better. I really want a Herb Jones City Edition jersey. So I have my BI, I have my Zion, red and blue, even though I only wear BI now because he's the GOAT. I love it. We live in a world where Brandon Ingram is better than Anthony Davis. And that's not even like homerism. Like that is actual objective truth. Great trade, Palinka. You freaking great value, Rob Lowe.
Who they extended, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, he's Rob Lowe with cable.
And not DirecTV.
Yeah.
Well played.
Let's go to. Oh, and by the way, Destroy Carnage in the chat says, T-Bob, I want to challenge you to that slider eating challenge this Sunday, halftime of St. Steelers game. If you want to come argue about why Jameis Winston should or should not be playing as we lament another horrible Saints game, maybe it won't be. At halftime, I'm going to be out of Curbside Burgers, and we are doing a slider eating challenge. And just go register online, and if you win, you get free curbside for a year. I mean, Mario, this is your moment, bro. Free burgers for a year. It may end up being the thing that kills you, but that's I mean, let's go.
Oh,
dude.
burger will be the thing that kills Mario.
This is your chance.
He's gonna end up like Elvis. For sure.
Yeah.
Like Chef said.
Yeah, like 40 pounds of burger just compacted in his intestines. Let's go to the phone lines. You got Chef Michael Johnson. Chef, what's up, dude?
What's up, guys?
Hanging out, man. Just having a good time. Hey, you're on the road to Arkansas right now?
I am, yeah.
Best if you were to slice up a wild hog,
where's
Chef,
this going?
You kill a wild hog. Let's say you're doing it like hunting with like an AR out of a helicopter or something cool. But you kill a wild hog. What are you cooking?
Look, I'm going to go to the butt first, like the rump or the roast.
Okay.
The chicken, slow and low, because wild hogs are lean. They don't have as much fat on them.
Yeah.
And they're obviously, like if you get too big of one, it gets super gamey because of their diet, right? So Sometimes you need to soak it in milk, for a few hours to pull some of that harsh, gamey flavor out of it. But I'm going to go slow and low, probably a little smoke in there, and I like sweet and spicy with my pork. I might even so they have this process that's called larding or barding.
Huh?
Each one of them is a little bit different, where you add fat too. So if it's super lean, you may have to run some, take a threading needle. It's actually a fat threading needle, and you thread fat into it so that when it cooks, it melts in the inside of the meat, and it makes it more flavorful.
What about, are you doing any ribs or anything? Can you do
Oh,
hogshead
yeah,
cheese? Okay,
When you ask that, I'd like to cook the whole hog.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
all the
What would you use all the parts for?
Oh, I think Kahlua style. You take the big meaty parts and kind of shred them in together and serve it inside the carcass of the creature, and cut the meat away from the bones and just mix it all together, and you get good textures that way.
Oh my God, that sounds so good.
Now, Chef, I know you're a little bit of an outdoorsman. I know that you and I both share a love of fishing. Have you ever been wild boar hunting? Because I used to have a teammate that was from Hawaii, and he wanted me to go so bad. I'm like, okay, well, I don't have my stuff out here. He goes, oh, we just need a K-bar. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, we use a K-bar knife, and that's how we go wild boar hunting.
What? Aren't boars super dangerous?
Yes, they're built a little different. So I want to know, Chef, have you ever been wild boar hunting?
I've never been in seek of wild boar, but I've been deer hunting where I've shot wild boar.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been in that situation as well. I've never been in the actually. Hey, let me go find some wild boars.
How would you?
Yeah, so in Missouri, if you're hunting in Missouri, no matter what it is, and you see a wild boar, you are required by law to take that creature first before you shoot something else.
Oh wow,
yeah.
That's how much of a problem it is.
Oh yeah,
that's very interesting. Hashtag munchies. One has got to go. Cornbread dressing, oyster dressing, green bean casserole, or dirty rice. One got to go.
Oyster dressing.
Oh, wow.
That's easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Off the jump.
I like it, but the other three are just top. They're just so far up there that I'll pass on the oyster dressing. No problem.
Okay. That's fair.
What do you like? So right now, obviously, we're still a couple of weeks away, but for Thanksgiving with the team, how much preparation goes into that? Because you're still playing football. Obviously, they got to be fed, and there's some people that can't go home because they're from hundreds, maybe even thousands of miles away, whatever the situation might be. So, what's the plan right now for Thanksgiving?
That's a good question. We're still feeling it out. So we have purchased special birds for the occasion, under the assumption that we will. But obviously some people are local by it to contrast, that they are local by and they want to spend time with their families. So I think coach is still making that decision. But we prepare for it just in case. And if we don't do it on Thursday, then we'll do it on Tuesday, just as a kind of a celebratory deal for everybody at the nutrition center and athletics to come over and celebrate, the Thanksgiving turkey with us on Tuesday. And reason Tuesday is because everybody travels on Wednesday. Like all the other athletes go home on Wednesday so they can be with their families on Thursday. And there is a possibility that we'll feed the team on Thursday. We have not sorted all that out yet.
Chef, speaking of being celebratory, your reaction to last week's game, and then kind of what's the well, give us that first, Chef. How are we feeling today?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I was there with my son and my daughter, and to share those moments with your kids. I mean, it gets you all teary-eyed. It was really a fantastic moment. My sister-in-law called me late minute. I had tickets, and I ended up being able to give my tickets to my sous chef, so he got to share that with his son as well. So,
let's go.
It was nail biter right up to the end, man. I mean, everybody was on the edge of their seat. I was just, I can't remember a game off the top of my head that was as exciting and, I don't know, it was just one of the best football games I think I've ever seen, man. It ended out well for us. Coach made a big call there at the end to go for two, and it turned out fruitful for us. And, it was a massive moment for me.
Chef, this might be a tough question to answer. But off the top of your head, what is the chefing equivalent of going for two to win the game? Like, has there ever been some sort of last-ditch effort or something you had to do to get a meal across the line?
I think one moment that comes to mind to me was like I was in Vancouver for the Olympics in 2010, and we were shut down. The opening ceremonies had closed. It was, like they were kind of tapering back.
Yeah.
And this server came in, and there was I don't remember who it was. It was a parent of one of the Olympic athletes had shown up late, and they were hungry, and I very easily could have said no, I'm not going to do that, but instead I turned everything back on and prepared them one of the best meals that I think that I could remember having done at that point.
Wow.
And he and his youngest daughter came into the kitchen and thanked me personally. They were like,
Oh, wow.
we weren't expecting food of that level at all. We were kind of expecting burgers and French fries, and you sent us out this incredible meal, and even my kids ate it. And that was one of those go for it moments where you can find impact. That's how you make connection with food.
Oh man, that's a great story, Chef. Hashtag Munchies. What's top of your list for po' boys? I guess your favorite kind of po' boy.
Yeah, I like to mix shrimp and crawfish or shrimp and oysters together and do a mix.
Fried?
Yeah. Fried, absolutely. Got to have pickles on it, lots of mayonnaise.
Yep.
I can do with or without the mustard, but shredded lettuce, like good cold crisp shredded lettuce, and then obviously the baguette. But I'm not a huge fan of the real hard, crunchy baguettes. I kind of like the softer ones myself, but I think that's just personal preference.
Chef, is it time for gumbo? Is it cold enough?
It's always time for gumbo.
And I'm with you. But T-Bob, he's been talking about it. The weather was colder today than it has been.
Yeah.
Is it like, for people that don't love it like all three of us do every single day of the year, if we could, is it time for gumbo?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it is gumbo season, like you said, and not everybody's as wild about it as I am or you guys are, but yeah, I think so. And some people offer chili, but I mean, you can get ground beef year round. You can get anything out of gumbo year round. I think it's that time, like when you start spending time with family.
Yes.
And so I associate that kind of long cooking time with making the roux properly, and putting the energy into it as to caring for my family, and caring for my kids, and you put that same attention and care into your food. So yeah, I definitely believe it's a gumbo season for sure.
Yeah, I got like my mom. I haven't seen her in a few months. She's coming to town this weekend. I'll probably start making that stock tonight. Maybe a little Sunday morning start a roux or something. It is that time, and I can't wait. Literally puts warm feelings in my heart, and it's always a great excuse to just drink beer and watch TV from the kitchen while sitting in my new hack, Chef. I don't even stand anymore. I get a rolling computer chair, and I just roll from the fridge back to the cast iron. Just bounce back and forth.
That's what I've been missing in my kitchen, man.
Hashtag Munchies. Chef, what's been the mood of the team this week? We here on this show are not engaging in fear-based thinking because we believe in the consistency of this team. But, many people are thinking, have they arrived? Like, are they doing the same things? What's your view on how the boys have been this week?
I think, and this is what you look for, is focus. Like not too high, not too low.
Yep.
Just so, and that's what I see. And I think that gives me more confidence than anything. You get the win, you get high on it for a little while. They come in for Sunday brunch and eat their victory meal, and then they move on Monday to what's next and focus on what has to happen next. You don't ride it for too long. What happened yesterday was yesterday, and what needs to happen this next Saturday, still has to happen. So.
Chef, what's the weather report there? T-Bob's been trying to keep up with the weather. He talks about the weather, but he doesn't know the report.
Yeah.
Can we get do you know the weather report there in Arkansas, place you're heading right now?
So it's supposed to be up to mid-70s right now, but by Saturday evening, it's supposed to be down in the 20s, 30s, and possibly even some precipitation with that. So it's going to be a nice chilly game for us.
All right, here we go. Hashtag Munchies. Pork tenderloin for dinner night. How should I prepare it?
I like pork tenderloin grilled hot. Super quick because it's lean. You don't have to cook it for too terribly long. And I cook it to 145 degrees off of the grill and let it rest. It's one of my favorite things off the pig. That little piece of tenderloin, and I don't know. I like throwing it on the grill on a really super hot grill and put some charbroil, some char color on it, and dark on the outside and nice and moist and cool on the inside.
Hashtag Munchies. Sorry, I should have a question ready to go. When smoking a pork butt, do you trim any of the fat?
No,
Yeah,
never.
come on.
I cook it with the fat on. No, that fat melts down through the meat, and you want that, and so you can't. There's no sense in trimming it off beforehand. It's easy to trim off once it's hot and it comes out of the oven. If you don't like the excess, you can take a spoon and trim it off when it's hot. Instead of using the knife work and struggling with cold fat or peeling it with your hands or whatever. You can still do it once you've cooked it. That's the beauty of the pork butt. It's like 1/3 fat, so that's why it tastes so good.
It's like me. Hashtag Munchies. Last one here. Any suggestions on a substitute for corn syrup and pecan pie?
I'm not a terribly great baker, and that's self-admitted. But if you're trying to replace corn syrup, agave nectar I think is a good one.
Okay.
Maybe even honey. If you're looking for like sweetness and stuff, agave nectar is where my mind goes to pretty quickly. It's healthier for you as well. Or like maple syrup too, like good maple syrup, not that cheap crap that's made in corn syrup. Like real good Canadian maple syrup.
There you go. Good Canadian. What? Say something.
Take
Jake.
that tea.
What?
Take that tea. Maple.
I'm a Louisiana man. I like cane syrup. I need thicker than your weak, thin, runny Canadian mess.
You can probably put some cane syrup, some steamed cane syrup, but I like cane syrup.
Well, I like you, Chef. You're the best. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic and safe drive to Arkansas. Get the boys ready, and we will talk to you next Thursday.
Appreciate you guys. Y'all take care.
Thanks,
All right,
Chef.
take it easy, man. Chef Michael Johnson, executive chef. Great story about the Olympian family. Not only that's the process. That's doing things the right way. He didn't have to do that. He chose to do that, and he made one of the best meals of his life, and really, had a lasting memory for his entire life. That's cool. All right, when we get back, what is this Boscar? We'll see. When we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
OTB, OT.
I want you to go to ITI Technical College, ITI college.edu, iticollege.edu. Go there today. This is a local family-owned trade school right here in Baton Rouge. It's been helping Louisiana students for 50 years. In just 2 years, you get that AOS degree. And then once you graduate, not only have you been trained for jobs relevant to Louisiana industry, Jake, but they can help assist you in finding those jobs. When I was out there for Student Appreciation Day the other day, that was a part of that process. Like, there's a bunch of employers out there that you're getting to meet with, getting to talk to, plant some seeds, make some connections. If you want to change your life and get a career, ITI Technical College is right there for you. Stop putting it off. iticollege.edu.
Yeah, you don't need to put it off because they're going to work with you. They're going to help you get to that finish line that we always talk about. Day and night classes, Fridays off. So even if you have something going on, they can still help you. 877-591-1070.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When I was a boy, I spent my days climbing trees, catching fish. Barefoot in the river I walked, listening to crickets, counting stars. This was home. After my stroke, I wondered if I'd make it back to the people and places I love. But I got the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Your card matters. Your home does too.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime. Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a $1 million.
We are loaded on a Thursday edition of Hunt and Hill reaction to LSU's basketball opener. We'll go to Northwest Arkansas and chat with Adam Hutchinson and Luke Johnson on the Black and Gold. Hunt and Hill 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Chip on the left hand side. Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. It a go bun. Give me the music, make me jump and prance. It a go done. Give me the music, make me jump inna the dance. It was a cool and lonely, breezy afternoon. How does it feel when you got no food? You could feel it 'cause it was the month of June. How does it feel when you got no food? So I left my gate and
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. It a go bun. Give me the music, make me jump and prance. It a go done. Give me the music, make me look inna the dance. Bang bang middly bang middly bang 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 middly bang middly middly bang.
Welcome back. Jake, Mario, Danny, and myself hanging out with you here. Remember to go follow Curbside on social media if you want to come out Sunday and chat about it. I will not be doing the contest myself. I will only be emceeing it. I'm done with eating contests. They're so hard. They hurt so badly.
I'll never forget one of Hudson's best friends, Garrett. He's on all of our teams or whatever, and so like he follows all the things that we do.
Yeah.
And so he knows I do the show, Mr. T-Bob. And he's like, yeah, I went out
before. Good kid.
Yeah, you have. That's right.
Yeah, I like Garrett.
You met him St. Patrick's Day.
Met him
he's like, yeah, we went out to T-Bob's pizza eating contest, and he just didn't do good.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, yeah,
he was so disappointed.
Like I'm up against like Joey Chestnut. Joey Chestnut's out here eating like 13 feet of pizza in 10 minutes. I couldn't even finish one piece. Mark, was that a laugh?
I'm sorry. I'm just guffawing at Mr. T-Bob. That's just funny to me.
That's what Knox called him Mr. T-Bob too until T-Bob told him not to call him.
To be fair, it is very funny. I mean, obviously that's what all the kids in the neighborhood call me as well. It feels very weird when people start calling you Mr. and then whatever your name is. I kind of like it, but Mr. T-Bob sounds especially stupid and kind of contradictory, which I do definitely enjoy. People says put a jar of Duke's mayo next to your arms. Okay, everybody needs to relax. Okay, I wore a hoodie without a t-shirt. That's on me. It got too hot in the studio, and so now you're all having to stare at my incredibly creamy shoulders. Okay, pour some Prince here, boys. You already know. So we're wrapping up the show here, and we'll get to Ask the Bench next. Have y'all seen all this FTX stuff?
No.
This is not good. So you know FTX, the
I know what it
commercials
is.
that
Yeah, yeah.
Tom Brady and everybody's doing the crypto exchange.
I believe they sponsored the MLB umpires.
Okay, so yeah, well they sponsor the Lakers arena, right? And it's only fitting that at a time when the Miami Heat arena. And I don't think the Heat are doing that well either this year. But no, FTX, bro, just went under. They are done. They are a crypto exchange, which is, I guess, like any other exchange, right? You give, like, if you bought Bitcoin on FTX, you never actually owned the Bitcoin. What you did was give FTX, and this is how Coinbase, this is how any of these places work. And stock exchange as well, right?
I've got my own thought process on that, but yes. Continue.
What you did, because they make it easier. You don't have, like, actually buying Bitcoin and putting your own wallet can be complicated. And for us, like, non-computer savvy people, it's tough. Like, that's why FTX and Coinbase and all these places make it, because it's like, hey, just come here, just put in your money, buy whatever you want, and it's in your name in a way. But technically, FTX, they own the Bitcoin. It's just that, like a bank or something, they have your money. Well, the problem was they started playing around with this money, and they were spending it and investing it, and rumors were that they were no longer liquid, like they could not cover, if everybody wanted to get all their money out at once, so they could not cover it. Those rumors start to swirl. Sure enough, everybody starts to get their money out all at once. They have to freeze assets. Now they're going completely under. And Binance was maybe going to buy them. They're not buying them after looking at the books. They had another buyer, I think, that was lined up that backed out. That kind of started all of this. It's so if you, like, I don't care if you bought $1 million worth of Bitcoin on FTX, you have nothing now.
Wow.
Nothing.
So when I was told, I guess you don't want to be a millionaire, when I was like, you know what, I'm just not into that world. It could be great for a lot of people.
Okay, so let's be clear. This is
no.
I'm saying, look, no, crypto is full of scams. Scammers everywhere. It's like the old Woody. What's he say? He's like, idiots, or Buzz is like, idiots as far as the eye can see. Something along the like crypto is chock full of scammers, top to bottom, obviously. But like, you know, FTX is no different than Coinbase or anything else. Their leadership just ran it very wrong. But because it's unregulated, I'm not even sure if he did anything illegal, technically. Like, I'm not sure if he's allowed to get into trouble or not. If it was a more traditional regulated marketplace, he would be getting in massive trouble. But yeah, man, a lot of people woke up. And if you followed Tom Brady and Steph Curry, I mean, Tom, geez, dude, what happened? Everything Tom touched used to turn to gold, and now it's all turned to doo-doo. But if you use that as your exchange, you lost everything, which is just an absolutely brutal beat, and probably the biggest black eye for crypto yet. And for all the decentralized deregulation people out there, well, this is just going to lead towards centralization and regulation. But it kind of insane, dude. Just really, really wild. Carly Woodard says T-Bob Shoulders, the headlight from Dumb and Dumber. When I tell you, I used to love that headlight, dude. Oof. You know what I'm talking about? He's having the daydream, and she flashes them in their headlights. It was like the closest I was getting to seeing boobs at that time. So I was pumped. I still love those headlights. But yeah. I thought that was pretty wild on FTX. Especially because it looked like they got to the point. I mean, they sponsored the Miami Arena. You got Brady. You got, it's like
MLB umpires, like I said, it was a patch on every one of them.
Legitimized. And no,
they're not. They are not.
Scamming, losing people's money.
I can't let that squirrel run by and me not talk about it. He talked about Dumb and Dumber, and it just reminded me, like, so my oldest son, Jackson, he's 13. He wants to watch all the movies that I grew up on. And I say grew up, I was like a young teen when I watched them, and I'm having to struggle with it. He's asking to watch movies that my dad let me watch, and he probably shouldn't have.
What movie?
He wants to watch Fight Club.
How old is he? 13?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
feel like in today's day and age, he can handle it, right? Like, I feel like Fight Club's probably okay, but I don't know.
I think I know why.
At 14, it'd be perfect. 13's maybe, I don't know. Is it a year too early? 7th grade feels like a good Fight Club age.
Yeah, he wants to watch Fight Club.
Is it because is he on TikTok a lot?
There must be, yes. There must be.
Because if he is, I know
he's been asking to watch Fight Club for like a year. So
What's
I don't know
going
if
on
it's
on
been
TikTok?
a trend.
Well, he also wanted to watch American Psycho, right?
He did, yes.
And Breaking Bad.
And Breaking Bad, yes.
TikTok, like the big Sigma male is coming back, and so those are Sigma characters.
Mhm.
Breaking Bad.
What do you mean by Sigma characters?
Like they're lone wolves. Like
Yeah.
they do everything for themselves.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So like all those movies are Sigma movies.
So it's TikTok filling it. Okay. All right.
Wow. What in the Sigma zeitgeist is
He's
going
not
on
watching
here?
American Psycho ever. He's out of my house. Like, I love American Psycho. Great movie, but.
Bilbo says, it's not FTX, not crypto, it's an exchange. Well, it's a crypto exchange, right? And a lot of times this stuff, all that matters is perception. And this is an awful look overall for any crypto exchange, any belief in crypto in general. Then again, they have a way of bouncing back, but FTX ain't bouncing back. It's kind of insane. Snatch, great movie.
Oh, great movie.
I don't have enough wheels.
Brad Pitt, great character.
Periwinkle Blue.
Did a really nice job in Snatch.
Periwinkle Blue is just stuck in my head for my entire life. It'll never leave.
You weren't allowed to watch stuff like that, so you saw it later.
In high school. All these movies came in high school for me. No, my mom had MTV blacked out on our television
Still
for a
just
while
shocks
growing up.
me.
Yeah.
Not that she, I mean, look, you do what you want to do, but that you could do that back then shocks me.
Bite the Curb, says Impetuous Tiger. American History X, one
Oh,
of the
no.
most brutal scenes of all time.
Yeah, Edward Norton did what he was supposed to do in the movie as far as acting, but oof.
I don't think he should watch Porky's yet, but he should watch Porky's one day. He should watch Porky's.
I'm thinking about, because he's been asking about Edward Norton. I guess it's because of Fight Club.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Put him on Rounders.
That's what I was about to say. Rounders is the one that I think I might steer him towards.
God, Rounders
I
was so
loved
cool
Rounders.
when poker was hitting back in the day.
Oh.
Nothing was cooler than Rounders. All right, when we get back, close out Ask the Bench. Keep it locked.
OTB, OT.
Get it done with Gordon, the G team. You know who got it done this weekend? The boys did. Gordon, the G team members, your Kayshawn Booty, leading receiver. Harold Perkins, SEC Defensive Player of the Week. The big news, Jaden Daniels, now on the G team, getting it done. Let's go, dude. We're actually going to have the Gordfather on tomorrow to talk a little bit about how that came about with Jaden. But look,
You know who else got it
basketball
done?
teams on there. Who?
Women's basketball team,
Okay.
125 points in one game.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so look, for all of your local injury attorney needs, of course, you want to go to Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You already know him. You see him all the time. 888-888-888 is the number.
225-888-8888. But
There you
yes,
go.
T-Bob.
There you go. So, who's up next for the G team? Only time will tell. But the bottom line, if you want to get it done, you want to get Gordon.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, we're happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvette Toyota and pick out your new Toyota today. That's Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station. 100.
NFL is back. Our coverage starts Sunday at 10 a.m. with Magnolia Bluffs Football Sunday with Jimmy Ott, immediately followed by the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings at noon, right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me. I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They gon' tell the story was different with me. God's plan.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Bob's plan. Bob's plan. Bob's plan. It's my plan. To welcome you back to OTB. I'm going to have to leave the segment and go to the bathroom, actually. Y'all have a great day. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Cruise Light, Visit Our Tilted Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. I'm sorry.
That's factual. That's the second time. I'm a little worried about him. I'm a little worried about Bob there.
What did he eat?
I don't know what he ate. That could be an Ask the Bench question. If he came back, I don't think he's coming back.
No shot.
I do feel like it's a good time to tell you about Patient Plus, patientplusuc.com. Get in and get better. They've got a location convenient for you in the Baton Rouge area. They're also conveniently open 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. every single day. Bob might be a little dehydrated after today, so he might have to go check him out, maybe get an IV, that type of situation. PatientPlusUC.com. Ask the Bench. As T-Bob said, brought to you by Cola Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. This is kind of an Ask the Bench. Carly asked, is he going to poop? Yes. Yes, he is, Carly. He was sweating. Like literal beads of sweat were coming down T-Bob's face because he had to go to the restroom. So, Ask the Bench, what was T-Bob doing during that break? He was actually trying to talk himself into not having to go use the restroom, in which he's already done during today's show. And he lost. He lost the internal battle of trying to tell himself he did not have to go to the restroom. Ask the Bench, did T-Bob eat a McGriddle with a cup of iced coffee? No, that's just T-Bob. It's T-Bob every single day. The first thing he does after the show is the same thing that he's doing about 4 minutes too early here. Let's see. Let's go back up and find an Ask the Bench question. Ask the Bench, where does Mario keep his zip ties in his car? Mario?
Depends on the day.
All right, he moves them around. Got to keep him guessing.
I found some under his bed. Keeps on deck.
Feels like probably like between the box spring and mattress is a good spot for Mario to hide the zip ties. Ask the Bench, when LSU wins the SEC championship to celebrate, T-Bob Hebert should have to shave his chest hair. Well, the thing about T-Bob's chest hair, there's actually not a lot. He's got a small patch that he likes to show off, but if he really showed you the full chest hair area, it's really not that impressive. So it really wouldn't be that much for him to shave said chest hair. Let's see. Ask the bench, how much is the weather going to affect the LSU-Arkansas game? I mean, like T-Bob said, once the ball's kicked, you don't really notice it as much if you're playing. Now, if you're not playing, if you're one of the guys that's on the sideline there in case of emergency, it's probably going to be miserable. But for the guys playing, it's not that big of a deal. Ask the bench, can we get a Mario Jerez Spanish call on the 2-point conversion? So can you go back, replay the 2-point conversion? It'd be hard. It'd be hard to get the same juice that you would there within the moment.
Yeah, it'd be tough. Obviously, kind of still upset about not having a Spanish broadcast, but hopefully it's back next season.
Ask the bench, are there more hoodies like Danny's for sale somewhere?
Maybe. I don't know yet.
Look, just DM Danny. That's what he always says to do. So just DM Danny. All right, we will see you the same time, the same place tomorrow for OTB. See you then.
OTB, OT.
All right, go to AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. Check out the website right now. Maybe you can't pick up the phone. Maybe you're at work and you're on the computer and you need to schedule something. No worries, because when you go to the website, you're going to have a chat window pop open, and it's going to ask you if they can help you, and you can get help right there from the website. If you want to pick up the phone, 225-269-8819. That is the number, and we always say service to the highest degree. And right now is a great time to get your unit checked out. And if you're part of the Star Club membership that we always talk about, that's part of the service. Because today it was cold this morning for Louisiana standards. Maybe that heater is going to come on soon. But probably the AC is going to come on the next week, because that's what we deal with. You don't want to shock the system, and if you're part of the club, they're making sure that your equipment can handle that, going from heater to AC, AC to heater. So visit the website today, find out all the information, schedule that appointment, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
As a community bank, B1 Bank invests in relationships with the people and businesses we proudly represent. Our B1 bankers are here to help simplify the complicated, understand your needs, and make managing your finances easier. At B1 Bank, we offer an array of solutions to help simplify your transaction needs. B1 Bank, one highly personal banking experience. Visit us online at b1bank.com for more information.
Enter now for a chance to win a catch and cook fishing experience from the Louisiana Charter Boat Association with me, Chef Jay Ducote, winner of Beat Bobby Flay. Register now at gocatch.com.